The story opens with a man leisurely driving, the wheels screeching as he slams on the brakes. A buzz of chatter erupts around him, with people pointing and whispering about the supercar that just screeched to a halt. The young man steps out of the car, flashing a confident smile that stuns onlookers. Someone blurts out, "Chen Yuan, the top, Tier 2nd. Generation rich kid in school, got another new supercar." From inside the car, a pair of white high heels slowly emerge, followed by a girl with a very ample bosom, stepping out of the car with a smug smile. Seeing this scene, the guys on campus are seething, muttering, "He barely got on campus and already snagged a top-tier babe from the N2 flight attendant program? Chen Yuan, that lucky bastard." A few other guys, faces red with envy, chimes in. "He's a rich second gen, and handsome to boot. Naturally he gets first dibs on the ladies." He doesn't just get first dibs, he's practically monopolizing the market. "Heard a lot of freshman goddesses are into him." The main couple saunters inside, amidst the hushed whispers of the students present. The girls on the upper floors are also getting their gossip on, full of jealousy for the girl next to Chen Yuan. "Chu Wan, she's not even as hot as me, right? I just hesitated a bit and missed my chance. Ugh, so annoying. Do you think I still have a shot?" The girl next to her says, "Opportunity favors the prepared, don't lose to that Chu." Chen Yuan, oozing confidence, glances up at the gossiping girls, flashing a smile that's a total babe magnet. Afterward, they happily stroll through the mall together. But that's all just a memory from Chen Yuan's past here. He reflects, it's a pity all that generous spending and enviable life in his third year of university was ended by a disaster. Not only did the 3 tourism companies in his family go bankrupt, but they are 100 million in debt. Back in reality, Chen Yuan walks inside and shouts, "Yo, roomies! Anyone up for a late-night gaming session with Lao Zhang?" He turns around, coldly replying, "Chen Yuan, I don't think we're that close." Another guy lounged back, leisurely saying, "You think you are still the young rich man from before. If you ask, we come, and if you want us to go, we leave." Chen Yuan is speechless, swallowing his pride, and goes to the roof to take in the breeze. He thought to himself, all his old friends that partied with him left one by one, avoiding him at all costs. There's no choice. His parents and little sister have to stay in a rented place. Now, he used to rent a room out every day, but now he can only live in the school dorm. Being like this, not to mention being able to be unrestrained and extravagant like before, it's uncertain whether I can even live a good life or not. Up until the next moment, Chen Yuan was asked to a corner by Chu Wanding to have a word. When he arrives, she says with disgust, "Chen Yuan, stop it, don't contact me from now on. I hope you can find a more understanding girl." He freezes, not knowing what to say, his expression darkened, unable to believe what he heard. Chen Yuan says, bewildered, "Wan, 3 years of relationship. You say stop, and you stop. Are you that heartless?" Chu Wanding looks at him with a cold gaze, replying with a voice akin to a pure love soldier, "How much feelings do we have? Don't you know that already?" She strokes her hair, turning toward the luxurious car that has been waiting on the roadside. Before she leaves, she reminds him, "Also, don't call me Juan. It's so country when you call me that. In the future, if we ever meet again, but preferably don't meet at all." After she spoke, she opened the car that was waiting for her. Chen Yuan's heart died when he heard this, breathing a sigh. Chu Wanting says again, "I'll leave first. My friend is here to pick me up." Chen Yuan quickly pushes open the door to block her and says, "Wait, Chu Wanting." Chu Wanting got startled. Her forehead, covered in sweat, turns her head to ask, "What else do you need?" At this point, her eyes contain no love, saying in a cold tone, "All those branded bags that you bought me? I don't think I need them in the future. Why don't you return them to me?" Chu Wanding got touched on a nerve, screaming, "Chen Yuan, have some shame. I've only gotten a few torn bags from being with you for 3 years, and you want them back after breaking up?" Chen Yuan's face darkened, forcing a smile and saying, "If it really can't be done, I don't want the money anymore. Let me go back to that dream one last time." Her face turned red, speaking in a disgusted voice, "Get lost." Quote, suddenly, an aged voice echoed from the car outside. "Juan, get in the car. There's no need to get angry. Young man, where are you planning to go now? Do you need me to give you a ride?" Chen Yuan glanced at the old geezer in the car, mocking in his heart. Calling her Juan is country for me, but it's not country for him, right? Ridiculous. Here. He replied coldly, "No need. My home is really near." The old man uses a provoking tone. Juan and I have other things to do. I am worried that you'll be too affected by this, that you can't think straight. Young man, I think I should bring you home to safety." When Chen Yuan hears those words, his heart is hurting more than eating chilies, thinking that you want to kill someone and hurt their feelings. If I don't return the strike, I'd be considered an idiot. Right after thinking, Chen Yuan lowers his head near the car's window, replying harmoniously, "Big brother, you are a good person. I will take the thought. But my home really is near. Walking would only take a few steps." Chen Yuan turns to her and continues, "Wandi is a good girl. I hope you can take good care of her from now on." Chu Wanding spaced out, not understanding what Chen Yuan wants to do. After she sat inside the car, the man inside the car also said smugly, "MMH, don't worry, you can give Wand to me." Chen Yuan started his move at this point. "We men must always give women the best things. Wan has a lot of habits. Brother should remember them. First, she likes to use Okamoto 001. Second, fishnet stockings. Don't need good quality ones because good quality ones aren't as convenient. Also, nurse and police uniforms are what she likes wearing most during sex." He sat in the car, fuming and pale, sputtering in retort, "Lo, now you're just talking for the sake of it." With that, he rolled up the window and sped off. Chen Yuan watched the car speed away, able only to sigh deeply, muttering, "Brother, I was just getting to the main point. Chu Wan Ting, perhaps your choice was right after all." The glaring sun overhead made him squint, shielding his eyes with his hand. Chen Yuan said coolly, "Forget it. It's nothing to do with me anymore. Hopefully your choice will give you a perfect life." Suddenly, a robotic voice echoed from nowhere. "Indeed, everyone should strive to live their perfect life. Perfect life system downloading." The sun overhead vanished, replaced by a golden orange system panel that left Chen Yuan dumbfounded. Information began to appear on it. Host, Chen Yuan, age, 21, height, 182 centimeters, weight, 70 kilograms, net worth, 87 health value, 72 fitness value, 75 skills, none. Chen Yuan broke out in a sweat, pointing at himself, puzzled and questioning. Host is me? I wasn't even asking to live or die. Why am I hallucinating? The system panel reappeared, along with a long list of missions. Perfect life system download complete. A perfect life not only needs money as a foundation, but also requires valuing the opposite sex. Mission initiated. Spend money on an opposite sex person of the same age nearby with a favorability rating exceeding 60 and also gain their regard. Mission reward. Spending money on the opposite sex will be tripled in return. If the opposite sex's favorability increases by 3 points during this spending, the refund will be doubled. Note: spending can only be done using accounts or cash. Chen Yuan couldn't believe what was in front of him, repeatedly scratching his head, thinking, "I've got a system? Ha! Is this for real? Hallucination, begone!" Suddenly, a soft voice called out from behind Chen Yuan. A girl was looking at him with worried eyes, reminding him, "A boy should act like a boy. It's just a breakup, is it really that bad?" At this moment, the system also displayed information about the girl. Academic advisor, Li Xiao. The girl walked up to Chen Yuan and said, "I saw everything just now. To put it in the words of you guys, bye-bye is bye-bye, the next one will be better, right?" Chen Yuan turned to look at Li Xiao in a daze. Suddenly he noticed the pink number 65 above Li Xiao's head, surprised in his heart. Huh? Above Teacher Li's head. The system also chimed in with a notification. Li Xiao, favorability towards the host is 65. Chen Yuan was now startled, analyzing silently the number above Teacher Li's head and the explanation. That means the perfect life system from just now wasn't a hallucination, but it's real. Li Xiao still knew nothing, cheerfully encouraging him. Li Mui classmate, Chen Yuan, cheer up. Chen Yuan was overjoyed, scratching his head awkwardly, replying to Teacher Li. "I'm okay, Teacher Li." He thought to himself, "So, I really got a cheat code." Listen to. Li Xiao smiled kindly and asked, "Yeah, that's right. About the tuition assistance I mentioned last time, have you thought about it? The application has been submitted early. This is one of the few things I can help you with." Chen Yuan replied honestly, "A few thousand yuan is like a drop in the bucket compared to my family's debt. Maybe the tuition assistance money should go to other students who need it more." Li Xiao pondered for a moment and then said, "Since you've said that, I won't persuade you further." The girl gave a gentle smile, reminding Chen Yuan, "If you have any difficulties in the future, you can come to me anytime, including relationship problems. Then I'll head back first. Remember to come find me if anything comes up." She waved goodbye to Chen Yuan and then turned to leave. He observed Li Xiao for a moment, and then looked at the system panel in front of him. He calculated in his heart, the system's limited time mission. Can doing the system's mission really get double the return? How about I take this opportunity to test it out? Thinking this, Chen Yuan ran up and grabbed Li Xiao's hand, saying, "Teacher Li, thank you for caring about me so much. Wait a moment, I'll buy you a cup of milk tea." Li Xiao replied in surprise, "No need to be so polite, classmate Chen Yuan." Before she could finish her sentence, he dashed off. A moment later, Chen Yuan returned with a cup of milk tea in his hand, handing it to her, saying, "Teacher Li, here you go." Li Xiao reached out to take the milk tea, blushing, said, "Thank you." After this, Chen Yuan took out his phone and checked the notifications. It displayed, "Construction Bank, your card with the last 4 digits 0098, on May 10th at 1640, received 18 yuan, account balance 99 yuan. He read it over and calculated. Originally, the balance was 87 yuan, spent 6 yuan buying milk tea, leaving 81 yuan. Now received 18 yuan into the account. The balance became 99 yuan. So the double refund is real. Whoa! Chen Yuan's eyes widened in surprise, thinking to himself, as long as Teacher Li's favorability towards me always stays above 60, wouldn't I be able to spend money on her multiple times, then continuously receive refunds from the system? Chen Yuan watched Li Xiao's retreating figure, a mix of joy and excitement in his heart, thinking, the debt in my family has a chance to be paid off. As long as I operate correctly, my family will become even richer than before. Chen Yuan's eyes lit up, thinking, Chen Yuan, I must return to the past? No, I can surpass the past. He paused, calculating. But my current capital is only 99 yuan. Too little. The urgent task now is to get enough capital, and at the same time find a suitable girl, then spend money on them. Chen Yuan leaned against a nearby wall, scrolling through his phone, calculating thoughtfully. The credit limit I can get is 8,000 from JB and 20,000 from another loan. The business loan is 2,158, plus the initial 99 yuan. Currently, the total money in my hand is 49,684 yuan. Chen Yuan smiled slyly, thinking to himself, Teacher Li, I'm just a poor student from a bankrupt family, wanting her to receive my precious gift, so I have to think of a way. A moment later, an exquisite box lay completely inside a roadside trash can. Chen Yuan looked at the bag in his hand, calculating in his heart. The bag costs 39,800. It's this year's spring model. I have to say, it's a high-quality imitation, so Teacher Li will accept it. Carrying the bag in his hand, Chen Yuan walked to Li Xiao's room. As he knocked on the door, he thought to himself, I wonder if Teacher Li has a boyfriend yet. Li Xiao came out to open the door, still wearing a tight apron. Seeing him, she asked in surprise, Chen Yuan, why is it you? Chen Yuan asked politely, Teacher Li, sorry to bother you, are you cooking? Li Xiao looked at the bag at Chen Yuan's side, asking curiously, Is there something you need? Chen Yuan didn't waste words, handing out the bag, saying carefully, Teacher Li, you've cared about me a lot during these 3 years of college. I always felt that it was something I should do, but today I finally understood the value and warmth of this help. This is a small token of my appreciation. You must accept it. Li Xiao looked at the bag in Chen Yuan's hand, thinking, This bag looks expensive. No way, no way. She then said, I'm a teacher, and these things are my responsibility. There's no special care involved. I treat all my students the same. It's not necessary. Chen Yuan had anticipated this and said, This bag is a high-end knockoff. It only costs 2 yuan. Ms. Lintz, you know my family's situation. I don't have money to throw around. You've helped me so much. If I don't do something to thank you, what kind of person would I be? Even though this bag isn't worth much, it's a small token of my appreciation. Please accept it if you don't mind. Li Xiao looked at Chen Yuan, thinking, He's said this much. If I don't accept it, I'll be looking down on him. I can't provoke him at times like this. She then took the bag from Chen Yuan's hand and said, Okay, I'll keep it for now. I'll give you a gift on your birthday or during a holiday later. While they were talking, a scent suddenly wafted out of the kitchen. Li Xiao immediately ran inside, yelling, "Oh no, my fried meat is burning, burning." Chen Yuan took this opportunity to slip off his shoes and go inside. Li Xiao poked her head out of the kitchen and called out, "Chen Yuan, you haven't eaten, right? Stay for dinner." Chen Yuan smiled, thinking, as long as her boyfriend isn't a problem, I'm happy to stay for dinner. After all, close contact can increase favorability, which will lead to more system rewards. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. The system notification rang. Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098 received 119 yuan at 1845 on May 10th. Current balance, 12,200. Chen Yuan picked up his phone, thinking happily, it's in the account. The bag was 39,800. A triple rebate is 11,400. And after deducting the capital, I earned nearly 80,000. It's not like I have never spent 80,000 before, but this is my first time earning money, and I did it myself. This is youth. This is victory. He'd been lost in thought for so long that he didn't realize Li Xiao had finished cooking. She turned and called out, "Chen Yuan, sit down and eat." "Chen Yuan, why are you standing there like a statue?" He snapped out of it and asked, "Yes, it's just the two of us eating? Where's your boyfriend?" Li Xiao turned her head, taking off her apron as she replied, "What are you talking about? I don't have a boyfriend. Ugh, why can't I get this off?" Chen Yuan leaned on the table and walked over to Li Xiao, offering, "Miss Li, let me help you." Li Xiao refused shyly, No need. But Chen Yuan was faster, going behind her to help her take off the apron. Chen Yuan looked at the alluring scene of her figure from behind and said, "It's okay. Almost done." Suddenly, a loud shout came from outside. "What are you two doing?" The figure appearing outside the door was none other than Li Meng, Li Xiao's younger sister. Chen Yuan jumped, stammering, "No, nothing." Li Xiao, on the other hand, smiled brightly and asked, "Why are you home so late today? Come and eat." After smiling, apron and all, Li Xiao ran to hug Li Meng's arm and introduced, "This is my younger sister, Li Meng." Chen Yuan forced a smile, raised his hand, and said softly, Hello." Li Meng looked at him with a dark expression and replied coldly, "I'm not good." Seeing that the situation wasn't optimistic, Chen Yuan made an excuse to leave. Li, I ate before I came. I'll go back to school now." Li Xiao watched his retreating figure, a bit surprised, thinking, he ate? But he clearly wanted to sit down and eat just now. Li Meng crossed her arms, watching Chen Yuan leave, and said coldly to Lin Zhao, "Sis, I think he has bad intentions." The naive Lin Zhao immediately retorted, "He's just my student." Hearing this, Li Meng got even angrier and shouted, "How bold! A student wanting to hug his teacher!" Lin Xiao, hearing this, turned bright red, pushed her sister to the dining table, and urged repeatedly, "What nonsense are you talking about? Let's eat." Chen Yuan, on the other hand, was pacing thoughtfully on the road. He walked and thought, who should I spend money on next? On one hand, Ms. Lini is just my teacher. On the other hand, she's not as money-grubbing as Zhu Wanting. Suddenly, a man fell straight into Chen Yuan from the front, for no apparent reason. He quickly recognized the person in front of him and asked, "Lao Huang, what's wrong?" The man reached out a trembling hand and a pale, lifeless face towards Chen Yuan, pleading, "Yuan Ji, my goddess, Feng Minhui, went to see a movie with that damned Li Jianpeng." This withered man was none other than Chen Yuan's roommate, Huang Haibao. These words reminded Chen Yuan of Feng Minhui, the campus belle of the class of 20 in the international business program, Lao Huang's goddess. The two had never had any contact, not even a conversation. Thinking of this, he was speechless, and asked back, "That's it?" Huang Haibao saw Chen Yuan's indifferent expression and asked in surprise, "Yuan Ji, what's with that look on your face? You're not laughing at me, are you?" Chen Yuan glanced to the side and said, "Don't make a fuss, look at who that is." Suddenly, Huang Haibao's eyes lit up, staring at two beauties, with hot figures walking in front of them. His face suddenly flushed red, and his complexion became rosy and full of life as he asked Chen Yuan, She just went to see a movie with Li Jianpeng. Yuan Ji, they didn't rent a room. I'm so happy. I still have a chance, right? Looking at Huang Haibao's miserably cheap appearance, Chen Yuan thought, to like a girl so much that you have to humiliate yourself like this? Lao Huang, how are you going to have sweet fruit to eat like that? But when his eyes landed on her, the number 72 floating above her head made Chen Yuan gasp. He thought to himself, holy crap, she's got a number 2. And it's even higher than Li Xiao's. The girl next to Feng Minhui sneaked a peek at Chen Yuan and said, "Minhui, did you hear? Chen Yuan got dumped by his girlfriend." Feng Minhui was surprised. Her friend rolled her eyes and went, "Chen Yuan? Titsk titsk." Feng Minhui didn't seem to catch it, but as she walked past Chen Yuan, she glanced back at him, kinda checking things out. The friend went on, "I shouldn't have cheered him on during military training back at the start of the semester. You took the initiative to talk to him and even gave him water." That rich kid attitude? Having money is one thing, but being cocky even after going broke? Anyone would break up with him. Yeah. Good thing you two weren't actually in love, or else it would have wasted 3 years of your youth. Feng Minhui sighed heavily, at a loss for words. Meanwhile, Chen Yuan was still staring at Feng Minhui, thinking, it's rare to find someone whose affection level can actually be beneficial. Why is the number dropping so fast? Feng Minhui's number was slowly decreasing from 72 to 69. Chen Yuan started to panic a bit. He thought, crap, I can't just sit here and do nothing. But still thinking about his roommate's feelings, he turned to Huang Haibao and asked, "Lao Huang, let me ask you something. Feng Minhui and I got together. Would you mind?" Huang Haibao rubbed his chin, looked at Chen Yuan, and asked, "The real question is, can you even win over the class beauty? You think you're still that rich second gen driving a BMW 4 Series? But to be honest, I wouldn't mind, as long as she's not with Li Zhanpeng. Then I don't care who she's with." That was all Chen Yuan needed to hear. He quickly turned away, leaving behind a single sentence. "Good bro, that's all I needed to hear. I'm going for it." Huang Haibao called after him in shock. "Yuan Ji, are you serious?" Chen Yuan ran to Feng Minhui as fast as he could and seriously called out, "Minhui!" The girl blankly turned around, blushing as she looked at him. Her friend was startled and instinctively became defensive. She immediately stepped forward and shouted, "Chen Yuan, what do you want with our Minhui?" Chen Yuan, putting on his most sincere face, said, "I wanted to ask if you're free tomorrow. I managed to get a reservation at Star Sushi Kaiseki. Would you like to go with me?" Feng Minhui blushed in surprise, wondering if Chen Yuan was asking her out for a meal. Her friend asked suspiciously, "That sushi restaurant that costs over 1,000 yuan per person on average? Do you even have the money?" Chen Yuan completely ignored the friend and scratched his head, giving a super charming smile as he said, "After we eat, how about we take a walk? I need your help picking out a birthday gift for my sister. Let me know by noon tomorrow, if you can." Having said what he needed to, he turned and left, not forgetting to wave goodbye. "I'm heading out! I'll contact you again tomorrow." Huang Haibao watched this whole scene in shock, speechless. Feng Minhui turned to her friend, blushing, and asked, "Well, I just went to the movies with Li Zhanpeng. Is it okay if I go eat with Chen Yuan?" Her friend was totally supportive and said, "What's not okay about it? That's a fancy Japanese restaurant." She bluntly analyzed, Chen Yuan might be a little cocky, but at least he's good looking. Li Zhanpeng just has some money, but if Chen Yuan's family makes a comeback, he'll definitely surpass Li Zhanpeng. Her friend took the phone from Feng Minhui's hand and continued, "It's a waste not to go. It's just dinner and a walk. It's not like you're doing anything else. I'll reply for you tonight." Feng Minhui still stammered blankly, Okay. The next evening, Feng Minhui and Chen Yuan went out together. They strolled towards the restaurant that had been reserved. They sat down at the table. The server quickly brought the dishes and enthusiastically introduced them. "Hello, Mr. Chen. This is the set menu for 2 that you ordered. Enjoy your meal." Feng Minhui smiled and sat down next to him, saying, "Chen Yuan, I heard your family's having a hard time. You didn't need to waste so much money on this." Chen Yuan turned to reply, "It's okay, the Japanese food here is super delicious." As he spoke, he suddenly froze, stiffened by Feng Minhui's ample body. Chen Yuan blushed and thought, Minhui's posture. It's only been 2 months since I stopped gambling. I need to calm down. Feng Minhui then asked, "Why did you suddenly invite me to dinner, Chen Yuan? Is it really just to pick out a gift for your sister?" Chen Yuan, who was taking a sip of tea to calm down, honestly replied, "I've always wanted to invite you to dinner, but I just couldn't find the right opportunity." Suddenly the number above Feng Minhui's head plummeted, dropping to 66. She lowered her eyes and pondered, not knowing what she was thinking, and just made a sound. "Oh!" Chen Yuan was shocked and thought, could it be that she's not happy with my answer? The affection level dropped again. Chen Yuan quickly regained his composure, cleared his throat a few times, and started reminiscing about the past. During military training, you often bought me water, and you even texted me at night. I've always remembered that. The affection level immediately increased to 67. She blushed and asked, "You still remember?" Chen Yuan scratched his head and replied, "That? How could I forget?" The number above Feng Minhui's head increased to 69, and then to 70. Only Chen Yuan was still trying to appease the demon within him. Calm down, I must calm down. Time flew by, and 40 minutes later, they finished their meal and went to the cashier to pay. The staff warmly said, "Hello, sir. The total is 2,920 yuan. You are a member of the store, so after the discount, it's 2,774 yuan. Chen Yuan nodded and replied, "Okay, thank you." The number above her head increased to 73. Feng Minhui looked at Chen Yuan and thought, "My living expenses for a month are only 3,000 yuan, and this one meal is almost the equivalent of my entire month's living expenses." On the other hand, Li Jianpeng casually mentioned eating at the school cafeteria when going to the movies, and said they'd eat out next time. He clearly has money, but he's so stingy. After the notification sound of money being added went off, a system notification also appeared. Time-limited task. Spend money on a person of the opposite gender nearby who has a favorability rating exceeding 60 and also gain their respect. Task reward. The money spent on the person of the opposite gender will be tripled. If the person of the opposite gender's favorability increases by 3 points during this spending, the money will be doubled. Only then did Chen Yuan turn his head to look at the number 76 above Feng Minhui's head, thinking to himself, "It was 72 when we first met, now it's 76, so that's how it is." This feeling of earning 10,000 just by eating a meal is freaking awesome. Feng Minhui looked at Chen Yuan, her face flushed with shyness. She gave a gentle smile and thought to herself, "He's becoming more and more pleasing to the eye. Maybe this is the power of money." Thinking this, she took Chen Yuan's hand and said proactively, "Let's go. Chen Yuan still has to go to Guaojin to pick out a gift for his sister." A moment later, at the Guaojin shopping center, that old geezer saw Chen Yuan and said to Zhu Wanding beside him, "Wanding, why is that guy here?" she said in surprise. "Chen Yuan?" She looked at him with disgust, thinking to herself, "Why is he here? He just broke up with me yesterday, and today he's already brought a new girl out shopping." The old geezer scornfully wondered, "That loser, a poor student, dares to come to a place like this to spend money," he thought bitterly to himself. "This old man worked like a dog and bought so many bags to coax Zhu Wanding before I could get her. This brat is so indebted, yet he still has girls chasing after him." Seeing those two, Chen Yuan said to Feng Minhui, "Let's go to another store over there." Feng Minhui beside him nodded in agreement. "Okay." Over there, Biaran couldn't swallow this insult and went to block Chen Yuan's path. "Since you're already here, how about we go in and take a look?" "It doesn't cost money to look, anyway." That woman Wanding beside him also chimed in. "Chen Yuan, what are you doing here? Who is she?" Chen Yuan replied coldly, "What a coincidence. I came to stroll around and pick out a gift for my sister." That old geezer said haughtily, "Ha! If you're buying a gift, you should go to the toy wholesale market and take a look. Can you afford to buy anything here?" As he spoke, he pointed towards the high-end store behind him. Zhu Wanding also launched an attack, shamelessly walking straight up to Feng Minhui. She was silent, but her smile was particularly cutting. "This sister, although I don't know you, I'm just kindly reminding you, don't be deceived by this kind of person." Chen Yuan, of course, wouldn't let this go. He immediately stood in front of Feng Minhui and retorted coldly, "What does it have to do with you? Furthermore, what do you mean by deceived? Who am I deceiving?" That old geezer then spat out a few words. "Chen Yuan, you shouldn't talk to Wanding like that. A man should have some class. Besides, Wanding is still your ex-girlfriend. We know your family situation very well. Bankrupt and still owing money. There's no need to pretend to be a big shot. No one's laughing." Chen Yuan was provoked by his words and thought, "These two are truly disgusting. They're a perfect match." Suddenly, the system's notification sounded. A perfect life should not be looked down upon by others. Time-limited task. Spend money on a person of the opposite gender with a favorability rating above 60, and also create negative emotions in the person beside you. Task reward. If the value of the negative emotions of the person beside you increases because of the host will be refunded double the amount spent on the person of the opposite gender for every 5 points increase. Note: This task can be stacked with the refund when spending money on a person of the opposite gender. At this moment, the two numbers of that scum couple also appeared, 30 and 35 respectively. Chen Yuan seemed to have found their weakness. He smiled to himself. I initially wanted to save some face for you two, and didn't want you to be embarrassed in public, but you two just had to cause trouble. Now that the system has issued a task, there's even less reason not to take action. Chen Yuan gently took Feng Minhui's hand, smiled elegantly, and walked forward, saying, All right then, let's go inside and stroll around, in a brand name store. The two receptionists, who had just finished gossiping, began to pass the buck. Chen Yuan is considered an old customer. You go and greet him. The girl beside her retorted, I'm not going. What's there to serve about a bankrupt rich second generation? Last time, I was the one who fussed over that fake, and you only tried it on but didn't pay. It's your turn now. The receptionist put on a threatening face and said sternly, I told you to go, so you have to go. On this side, Zhu Wanding scanned the store and then took a bag, holding it out in front of that old man, saying, Honey, I've looked at it. Can you pay? All right. The receptionist said happily, Coming right up, Ms. Zhu. Please wait a moment. The other receptionist looked on with envy, thinking to herself, High-quality customers with stable payments are hers, while poor customers who don't make purchases are mine. She went to Zhu Wanding's side and began to fawn over her. Ms. Zhu has great taste, perfectly matching her temperament. Unlike some customers who have no taste at all, another receptionist also took out expensive items and offered them, Ms. Zhu, this jewelry set also goes very well with the bag you just chose. Would you like to try it on? It looks great on. It's just a little expensive. About 100,000 in total. Chen Yuan, not bothering to pay attention to those two pretentious people, looked at Feng Minhui and whispered, Minhui, don't be stingy with money for me. Hearing this, Feng Minhui pointed to a bag in front of her and said, I think this bag is pretty good. The style is also very young. Your sister might like it. Hearing this, the receptionist said with a look of disdain, These two things together are more than 50,000. Very expensive. Zhu Wanding's old geezer looked at her unhappily, thinking, 100,000 to waste. Originally, I could coax her with a 2,000 yuan bag today, but now she wants a whole set of 100,000. After Zhu Wanding happily finalized the purchase, she seduced him and whispered, Swipe your card, honey. Chen Yuan is still watching. Hurry up and show off your boyfriend power. He thought bitterly, 100,000 is boyfriend power? I don't have that much money in my card. Suddenly, Chen Yuan's forceful voice rang out. Hey, I'll take both of these bags, and I'll also take the accessories that the girl over there just recommended. The sugar daddy couple heard this sentence as if struck by lightning, turning around to look at Chen Yuan with shocked eyes. Feng Minhui was just as flabbergasted. The sales associate who was all over Zhu Wanding earlier did a complete 180, thinking, Wait, he's getting the accessories too? I thought he was broke. AF. The sales associate, who was being so snooty just moments ago, was now practically vibrating with glee. Chen Ji, 2 bags plus accessories. That'll be 131,000 yuan. Chen Yuan thought to himself, How interesting. Get paid to eat and drink, and now this money comes back. Perfect. Chen Yuan pulls out a regular, Jane-looking card and says casually, Here, swipe this. The overjoyed sales associate was all smiles. Yes, sir. I'll wrap it up for you right away. She was about to cry tears of joy. She thought she was going to work for free today, but turns out he's not just buying 2 bags, but also the accessories. That's over 130,000 yuan. I never thought this dude who got dumped would be so generous, even more so than before. Zhu Wanding was burning up with envy. She couldn't handle the truth and screamed, Chen Yuan, didn't your family go bankrupt? Where did you get so much money? The dude behind her chimed in. He probably took out a loan or something, right? Chen Yuan raises his chin, replying coolly, Believe what you want, I'm not short on cash. How about I buy another bag for Zhu Wanding? It's just over 20,000 yuan. It's peanuts to me. That guy looked like he was about to explode. Chen Yuan wasn't done yet, he added. A man should be generous as well as suave. That Audi A8 of yours cost at least 600,000? Or 700,000, you wouldn't mind this little bit of money, right? Zhu Wanding is being so competitive. She immediately turned around and urged him. Hao Jun, show him what you've got. Don't let him win. He was secretly fuming, thinking, that A8 is on a payment plan. I can't let Wanding know that. Ugh, This is so annoying being triggered like this. Not knowing what to do, he grabbed his phone and said, "Hold on, I need to take this call." Zhu Wanting was pissed and called out, "Hao Jun, what are you doing?" The other sales associates got a good show to gossip about. The dude walked outside, loudly faking the phone call while practically running away.
Who told you to decide that? Didn't I say any project over $1 million needs my approval? Zhu Wanting was grinding her teeth in anger. Chen Yuan, just you wait.
Watching their pathetic figures and the increasing number on the gold diggers meter, he thought, "Oh, negative emotions. This is easier than I thought. Whatever, I'm too lazy to bother with them. Just gotta finish the mission." After paying, Chen Yuan hands the bag to Feng Minhui, saying, "Minhui, take this. It's a gift." She was shocked and waved her hands. "No, I can't, Chen Yuan. It's too expensive." Chen Yuan hands the bag to her, with the other hand taking another bag from the sales associate. "It's nothing. It's just a bag. You were laughed at and humiliated by those two jerks because of me. I'm a bit embarrassed, so consider it my apology. Just accept it. Please accept it." Feng Minhui hesitated for a moment and said, Well, okay. Thanks then." Chen Yuan continued happily. "Don't thank me so fast. And there is this, and those. All for you," Feng Minhui asked in surprise. "Huh. Isn't this for your younger sister?" Chen Yuan responded casually. "I don't know if she likes them, but I know you at least like this bag." He pretended like that, but in his heart he thought, "Are you kidding? If I really buy it for that little devil Chen Xuan, she won't just scold me for wasting money, she'll rat me out to mom and dad too. From the beginning I was buying those 2 bags for you. Just take it. After you take it, I can get refunded tonight."
Feng Minhui stepped back. In her heart she thought, 1 bag was already too much. But to accept all of this like this, wouldn't that make a bad impression on him? The girl blushed, embarrassed, and replied, "I can't, Chen Yuan." She didn't even have the chance to finish her sentence. He already grabbed Feng Minhui's hand. Smiling, he said, "It's okay, this is just the beginning, we still have a lot of time. Just accept it. If you keep refusing, I'll be sad." With the enthusiastic begging, the girl also accepted the remaining bag. Immediately, a system message rang. "Congratulations, host, on completing the mission. This mission got a total of 15 negative points and a triple refund of the money that was spent, in addition to spending money for the opposite sex, for a total of 6 times the refund. Construction bank card number with tailing digits 0098 received 786000 at 21:00 on May 11th. The current balance is 786,356 yuan." Chen Yuan held Feng Minhui's hand and thought, "Right now, Minhui is my cash cow. I have to protect her well, and not let the drop in affection from just now happen again." He said gently to her, "Minhui, let's go back to school, it's getting late." In Chen Yuan's heart, he thought, "Although I really want to go a round or two, this kind of thing can't be too hasty. It's better to let it happen naturally." Feng Minhui was also moved by this action and thought, Chen Yuan is completely different from Li Jianping. He didn't mention going to a bar, if not I really wanted to. A moment later, Chen Yuan finally arrived at the south dorm. At the same time, a group of youths were coming down from upstairs, repeatedly cheering, "Jianping, so enviable, so quietly you got the class beauty. All of us are still single. That's right, I didn't expect you little punk to be a step ahead. This is worth celebrating. You have to treat us no matter what. Moreover, it has to be a grand meal." The Li Jianping guy saw Chen Yuan passing by and deliberately spoke loudly so that he could hear. At that time, call the whole class to go. Let's be lively. Chen Yuan pondered and went back to his dorm room. Inside, one roommate looked bitter and opened his receiver and spoke to him. "Did you hear everything? That damn Li Jianping just went to watch a movie with the class beauty and already can't wait for the whole school to know. It's very obvious that he's targeting our room 503. Chen Yuan knew everything and smiled to comfort him. He won't be jumping around for long. Feng Minhui won't be with him. The other side turned around and said to Chen Yuan, "Don't talk nonsense. Feng Minhui went to watch a movie with him last night. Who knows what else they did? Moreover, didn't she not agree to a date with you today? That shows that she's really with Li Jianping." Chen Yuan simply sat down on the bed, only listened, but didn't say anything else. He turned on the computer, looked at the account balance for a moment and thought, "Already have new income so fast. Maybe I'll go home tomorrow and check things out." Scene changed to Chen Yuan's house. A chubby man sits on a chair. Seeing Chen Yuan, he says, "Xiao Yuan, you're back. That man is your uncle." Chen Yaode. Chen Yuan walks in and coldly says, "Hello, uncle," his father says softly. "We're talking here. Go back to your room first. Your uncle and I are discussing something." After Chen Yuan returns to his room, his father's voice can still be heard outside. "Brother, I understand your difficulties, but I still hope you can give me some more time. The stuff I have is almost enough to pay off the debt. I'll pay you a portion first then." Chen Yaode says smugly, "One portion is definitely not enough. I have to hustle every day these past 2 days. You absolutely have to pay me everything at once." Chen Yuan's mother can't hold back anymore and shouts, "Chen Yaode, no one does things like you. Who lent you 300,000 when you didn't have money for a car wash, and did they ever rush you to pay it back? Now we've only borrowed 200,000 from you, and you've come to rush us 3 or 4 times. What's your intention?" Chen Yuan's father interrupts, "Say less, will you? Your brother has his own difficulties." Chen Yuan's mother still hasn't stopped, and says bluntly, "Whether he has difficulties or not, he knows very well in his heart. I already asked his wife. He hasn't been hustling for money these past 2 days. He is still smugly saying that debts must be paid. It is a matter of course. It's a waste that we're even family. We can still get along. If it were an outsider, you'd see what debt collection is like." Chen Yuan's mother snaps back, "Haha, you still want to use violence to collect debts? Oh heavens, the Chen family are all white-eyed wolves. What was the point of treating you all so well in the beginning?" Chen Yuan's father turns to say, "What are you saying? Aren't there still some jewelry? Go into the room, find some, and sell it. We'll buy it back for you later when we have money." Chen Yuan's mother says irritably, "Stop it. What are we buying? Let's pay off the debts in the house first." Suddenly, inside, Chen Yuan's system rings with a notification. "A perfect life shouldn't carry debt. Time-limited mission. Pay off family or personal debt. Mission reward. The amount of debt paid will be doubled for the host. The first time you pay 200,000, you will get 1 million specifically for a car." Chen Yuan stares blankly at the notification in front of him, thinking to himself, "This mission came at just the right time." His eyes light up, thinking to himself, "Even without the mission, I was planning to help old Chen ease some of the debt today." On this side, Chen Yuan's mother takes out the jewelry box, sighs, and says, "All the jewelry you've given me over the years is here. No matter how difficult things get, I can't bear to sell it. It's worth several tens of thousands of yuan. Let him take it back first." It seems like 2 gold rings were lost during the move. Hearing his mother's sigh, Chen Yuan blushes with embarrassment inside. "Ertnan needed some money to buy a bag for Wan Ting, so I took my mother's 2 gold rings to sell. At that time, I was really an unfilial son." Chen Yuan thinks, and then pushes the door open forcefully, shouting clearly, "Mom, Dad, I have money." Chen Yuan's father sees him and reminds him listlessly, "Now is not the time to joke around." His mother also has a tired face, saying, "You see the situation in the house now. You still need that little bit of money to pay for your cafeteria card, right? Don't mess around." Chen Yuan scratches his head a little embarrassedly and says to his dad, "I really do have money, old Chen. Listen, can you hear the sound of receiving money?" Mom and Dad quickly take out their phones to look at the numbers inside and shout, 200,000! Chen Yuan's father asks in surprise, "Kid, where did you get so much money?" Chen Yuan then makes up an excuse. "Mom and Dad gave me a lot of pocket money before. I invested some money in cryptocurrency with a friend. He didn't let me touch it, saying that the potential for increase was great. Only these past 2 days did he convert it into real money." He thinks to himself, "Maybe this excuse will work." Anyway, the pocket money back then was really a lot. His mother immediately becomes happy, saying, "Good job, son. You've helped our family solve a worry." Chen Yuan's father also reminds his mother, "All right, let's pay the money first to send that plague away." Chen Yuan's father goes out to transfer the money to Chen Yaode, and then says coldly, "Yaode, we've paid off the debt." Chen Yuan's mother also curses, "Now that you've received it, get lost. Don't ever come to our house again." Chen Yaode looks at the real number in his phone, and immediately becomes cowardly. He stammers, looking at Chen Yuan's mother, sister, Vinlaw, "What are you doing?" Chen Yuan's mother says sternly and loudly, "Don't you understand human language? I said get lost." After that, he doesn't need to leave on his own. Chen Yuan's parents kick him straight out. He looks inside in a daze, thinking to himself in confusion, "My cousin owes nearly 100 million outside. I thought he would run out of money eventually, so I had to come and collect the debt early. Why could they pay off the debt so quickly? Could it be that my cousin's new business is making money? Then he's about to get rich again. He then feels regret and slaps himself. How can we ever meet again after what I did today? Damn it, why did I even come? On this side, Chen Yuan's system rings with a notification. Checking that the host has completed the first debt repayment goal, the system will immediately issue the reward. Construction bank card number, ending in 0098, has received 400,000 yuan at 11:39 on May 12th. The current balance is 1,163.56 yuan. Construction bank card number, ending in 0098, has received 1 million yuan at 11:39 on May 12th. The current balance is 2635. Chen Yuan looks at his phone, thinking to himself. Excluding the private money to buy a car from the second message, my private account already has more than 1 million. I didn't expect that coming home would not only help my parents solve a worry, but also have such a big harvest. Chen Yuan thinks. But completely solving all the debts in the house still requires a lot. So right now, even if I give all the million in my hand to old Chen, it's useless. The most beneficial thing is to use this capital to create more money. Chen Yuan looks at his parents, who are so happy that they're crying beside him, and thinks to himself, let's calculate. I can only give old Chen 2 more 10,000. Thinking this, he goes to his parents and says, Old Chen, I actually still have a portion that hasn't been withdrawn, about 10,000. Do you need to use it urgently now? Chen Yuan's mother waves her hand and says, Mom feels like we can keep it for now. The other debts aren't urgent for the time being. Suddenly, old Chen blushes and speaks up. Wait, give me 10,000 first, embarrassingly says. That, Chen Yuan, give me 10,000 first. Chen Yuan responds with a smile. That's right, old Chen. This is the right feeling. He recalls himself in the past, thinking to himself, this appearance of dad is exactly like me when I asked him for money before. This thing like inheritance is really interesting. Cut to outside Li Xiao's house. Chen Yuan's standing there. He sees her, and immediately says, Teacher, you're back. Li Xiao smiles when she sees him. Yep, no classes this afternoon. Chen Yuan leans in, all eager, and says, Are you free tonight? I wanted to treat you to dinner. You bought me food last time, so it's my turn to return the favor. The moment he says that, sharp eyes flash behind her, making both Li Xiao and Chen Yuan sweat bullets. Li Meng, her face full of killer intent, appears behind her teacher, making Chen Yuan stutter. Li Meng, Chen Yuan freezes, thinking, this teacher's little sister is seriously my nemesis. Can't mess with her. These two sisters are really different. The older one is gentle, but Li Meng is tough and always on guard. She narrows her eyes at Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan gets super nervous under her gaze, then turns and stammers, Oh, teacher, I suddenly remember I still have something at school. Might be busy tonight. We'll do the treat another time, okay? I'll go now. And he bolts. Li Meng says to Li Xiao with a serious face, I told you that kid has ulterior motives. Li Xiao replies softly, Maybe he really just wants to buy me a meal. Besides, even if he does have other intentions, I wouldn't agree. Chen Yuan's already outside, thinking to himself as he walks, it's so hot. He absent-mindedly thinks back to the past, driving around in an air-conditioned car with Zhu Xiaoting that was comfortable and cool. Thinking about it still feels nice. Suddenly, he remembers something, takes out his phone, and thinks, wait, I actually have some money set aside to buy a car right now, but I haven't used it. Am I not giving the system enough face? He thinks for a second, then texts Feng Minhui, free this afternoon, want to go car shopping with me? Feng Minhui replies quickly, sure, no classes this afternoon anyway. Feng Minhui's friend reads the message and squeals to her, Aya, you two lovebirds are already going to pick out a car together. That was fast. Are you not coming back to the dorm tonight? Tell me. Feng Minhui blushes and protests. Don't talk nonsense. We're not even dating yet. Her friend teases, our Minhui is so lucky to find a rich gold, turtle, and a handsome one at that. That brat Chen Yuan got a steal. She reaches out and gives Feng Minhui's chest a playful squeeze, making her blush and exclaim, stop it. An hour later, at a top-tier 4S dealership, an employee sees them arrive and greets them, welcome, what can I do for you? Are you here to see cars? What kind of car are you looking for? Another guy walks over, face red and dazed, and asks, Minhui, what are you doing here? Feng Minhui turns and says softly, Oh, Senior Chin, she thinks to herself. Chin Yang, the upperclassman who used to chase me in high school. Why am I seeing him here? The guy walks up to them and asks her, Minhui, who's this? Chen Yuan steps forward and introduces himself. I'm her classmate. Xin Xiao asks, Oh, are you two here to see cars? What kind of car are you interested in? Chen Yuan points to the car next to him without hesitation and says, I want to learn more about this MCH model. Xin Xiao says enthusiastically, The car exhibits are over there. Feel free to look around. You can also sit inside. In his heart, he's clearly looking down on them, thinking, the lowest MCH is at least 500,000, and it's more than 600,000 on the ground. This kid is dressed so plainly. Ha! If you don't have money, you don't have money. What's the point of bringing a female student to the 4S store and pretending to buy something? He stares blankly at Feng Minhui, thinking to himself, Minhui is still so beautiful, worthy of being the goddess I pursued. I'm different from before. Salary of more than 10,000 a month, outstanding salesperson, drives a 200,000 Honda Accord to work. Girls are realistic now, guys like me are their top choice. He just stands there, thinking all sorts of nonsense. He then walks over to her side and says, Minhui, long time no see. If you're free tonight, how about we catch up? Feng Minhui replies awkwardly, Sorry, senior, I might not be free today. I have other plans tonight. Chen Yuan suddenly pipes up, Hey, is it possible to arrange a test drive? He gets interrupted and thinks bitterly. I'm trying to ask Minhui out, what are you interrupting for? You can't afford it, so what do you want a test drive for? Wasting my time. He suppresses his anger and replies, Sorry, the test drive vehicle has already been driven out by our boss today. No test drives today. Chen Yuan, with his history of changing cars every few days, thinks he is not someone who knows nothing about cars. He already saw the MCH in the store when he came in. If you can't arrange it, then change someone else. Without saying much, he gets off the car and shouts loudly to the front desk, Excuse me, could you arrange another salesperson for me? I want to test drive immediately. A girl walks out and says softly, Hello, my name is Chen Na. I am the sales consultant of the store. How can I help you? Chen Yuan looked at the sweet girl in front of him and praised him. Another colleague saw this and asked the guy, Isn't Xin Yang supposed to be handling that customer? Why did you let Chen Na take over? He replied annoyedly, I couldn't be bothered. Let Chen Na work for free. A student saying he wants to buy an M9 and test drive it? Isn't that just bragging? The other colleague said, What if he actually buys it? You'll regret it then. Xin Yang still scoffed, Buy my ass. Just a poor guy bringing a pretty girl along to show off. I've seen this a million times. Meanwhile, Chen Na was enthusiastically introducing the car. Sir, this car mainly features intelligent driver's seat design and is equipped with a 192-line laser radar, enabling full autonomous driving. How does it feel? Chen Yuan quietly assessed the girl's efficiency. Very professional. Her looks and figure aren't any less than Feng Minhui's, he thought. It's just that you often hear stories online about female car salespersons rarely closing deals with male customers. A few impure thoughts about Chen Na popped up in his head. Over there, Chen Na asked, Do you understand all the car's configurations? What's your budget? Chen Yuan casually asked, Do you have a car in stock? I want to pick it up today. Chen Na's eyes lit up as she secretly thought, Customers who buy our cars usually have to look at them several times before making a deal. This guy just test drove it and decided to buy it without even asking the price. If he really buys it, why did Xin Yang give up on serving him? She checked and said apologetically, Sorry, we don't have the car in stock right now, but another store has a customer who had financial issues and canceled their order. If you need it, we can transfer it here within a week. Chen Yuan nodded in agreement. That's fine, I'll place an order today. Chen Na was even more surprised. Looking at Chen Yuan with admiration, she thought, the car costs over 600,000 yuan to get on the road, and he's buying it just like that. Is this the legendary angel customer? Or does he have other intentions? Despite her thoughts, she remained calm and politely said, Please come inside the store to rest for a moment. A deposit of 50,000 yuan is required up front. I'll go get the contract. After returning to the store, Xin Yang immediately started gossiping and asked Chen Na, What did that customer say? Chen Na sat down to prepare the contract and slowly replied, He bought it. The colleague who heard this exclaimed in disbelief, What? He bought it?
That was fast. Chen Yang was even more incredulous. He put his hands on his hips and said disdainfully, "That guy's just pretending. When it's time to pay, he'll come up with all sorts of excuses to disappear. We have plenty of people like that in the store." The male colleague seemed enlightened and chimed in, Yeah, that's right. I've been selling cars for so many years, and I've never seen a customer buy so quickly." Chen Na calmly reaffirmed, "I'm telling you, Mr. Chen bought it, and he's even going to pay the full amount." This news shocked the male colleague so much that he lost control of his words. The colleague turned to Qin Yang and said, "You idiot. You let such a big order slip away. You're going to regret this." He couldn't do anything about his frustration and could only clench his fists in self-anger. After completing the paperwork, Chen Na asked with a smile, "Mr. Chen, if you have any issues with the follow-up procedures, feel free to tell me at any time. Where would you like to go later? Would you like me to see you off?" Feng Minhui walked over and took Chen Yuan's arm, saying, "No need. We'll call a car ourselves." Seeing her attitude, Chen Na felt a little embarrassed and thought guiltily, "I was too eager to protect the customer and made his girlfriend unhappy. I'm screwed." Making this, she stood in place and politely said, "All right then, I won't see you off any further." The two continued to stroll down the street. Chen Yuan looked at his phone and asked, Hui, let's go eat now, okay?" She suddenly pouted and said, "Oh," which sounded ominous. Chen Yuan immediately realized something was up. He turned to her and asked, "Feng Minhui's unhappy. Are you jealous?" She blushed and looked away, saying, "No, I'm not." Chen Yuan smiled indulgently and said to her, "You say you're not? Your expression says otherwise. I and she are only the business relationship between a salesperson and a customer, nothing more." Feng Minhui blushed, her voice a little sulky as she replied, "Who knows? You were talking to her so happily, and you were scrolling through her moments, for so long too." Chen Yuan scratched his cheek and explained embarrassedly, "Haha, it's actually just a habit. I always scroll through people's moments whenever I add them as friends." She turned her face away and reminded him, "Well, don't do that next time." After saying this to Chen Yuan, Feng Minhui thought, "I clearly have nothing to do with Chen Yuan, so why am I suddenly jealous? Guys who spend money so generously are really easy to attract other women. I have to find a way to keep Chen Yuan." As if she had thought of something, she secretly encouraged herself, "I have to hold on to Chen Yuan tightly." Meanwhile, Chen Yuan was still repeating the words from earlier, "I won't do that next time. Let's go eat first. Then we'll go shopping. I'll buy you gifts for National Day." He was a little nervous in his heart, thinking, "There won't be anything fishy next time. I'm really not that pure, damn it." Hearing about shopping, Feng Minhui said, "But you already bought me 2 bags yesterday." She thought to herself, Although I'm a little expectant, it's not good to let Chen Yuan spend money like this. What if he thinks I'm a gold digger?" Chen Yuan smiled gently and said, "It's okay, it's normal for girls to have lots of bags. Anyway, there are 7 days in a week, so you won't be repeating them every day." He thought to himself, "Anyway, spending money on girls can get me a 3. The more she buys, the better, so I can earn more." The two went into a cafe. Chen Yuan handed her the menu and asked, Hui, would you like a cold or hot drink today?" Hearing this, Feng Minhui embarrassedly thought, Chen Yuan is asking me if I want a hot or cold drink. Is he indirectly asking if I have my period? He wants to. She timidly replied, "The cold one." Chen Yuan was confused. He finally realized something and blushed, thinking, "What's with Hui's expression? Good job. What are you thinking about?" But the last time I was with Zhao Wanting was 2 months ago. But it's been accumulating so much, it's really time to release it. Let's just let this misunderstanding intensify. 3 hours later, the two had left the shopping mall. From top to bottom, she had a watch worth 12,800, a bracelet worth 20,800, and a handbag worth 5,500. The stats on her head had also increased to 81. She looked at him embarrassedly, thinking, Chen Yuan treats me so well that it feels unreal. He just bought me over 80,000 yuan worth of stuff in a little while, and almost 140,000 in 2 days. Over on this side, Chen Yuan's bank system also chimed in with a notification. Construction Bank, card ending in 0098, received 252,000 yuan at 11:39 on May 12th. Current balance, 224,216 yuan. Chen Yuan happily looked at the rising number on his phone, thinking, this double cash back from the system is legit.
I gave old Chen 50,000 for the car, and boom, got it back in no time. Even though this 217,000 includes the car payment. Even after deducting nearly 60,000 for the car, that's still over 16 million yuan to blow. Chen Yuan turned to Feng Minhui with a sly grin and said, Minhui, don't go back to the dorm tonight, okay? Hearing this suggestion, she shyly nodded. Half an hour later, at the Grand Rich Hotel, room 808, Chen Yuan was leisurely taking a warm shower, washing away all the worries. Feng Minhui was lying on the bed outside, anxiously staring at her phone screen, thinking, Chen Ling asked why I haven't come back to the dorm. What do I tell her? Just say I'm with Chen Yuan? Too embarrassing. Before she could figure it out, Chen Yuan came out. His toned body was on full display. Chen Yuan, while drying his hair, asked, Minhui, are you ready? She blushed looking at Chen Yuan. In her heart she thought, sorry Ling Ling, he's giving me so much already. Finally, she sent her friend a hurried text. Ling Ling, I'm not coming back tonight. If anyone asks, just say I went to visit relatives, okay? She said shyly. Chen Yuan, I haven't showered yet. He buried his head in the hollow of her shoulder, inhaling deeply, and said, It's okay. I love your scent. He quickly pinned her down and got to work. Feng Minhui continuously blushed, letting out embarrassing moans. She gently called his name, Chen Yuan. He skillfully used his mouth to undo the zipper of her dress and said, I love every scent on your body. She was in a daze, placing her hand on Chen Yuan's chest, and gently instructed. Be gentle, he happily replied. The two of them dove into each other, lost in the moment, forgetting the world. Half an hour later, they were resting. She lay in Chen Yuan's arms, thinking, this kind of thing is really not as scary as Chen Ling said. Chen Yuan, on the other hand, looked gloomy, thinking, I didn't expect Minhui to be. This feels great, but also exhausting. Looks like I haven't been working out enough. 2 months without doing it, and I've regressed this much. Before he could rest much, Feng Minhui climbed on top of Chen Yuan and gently said, Chen Yuan, how about we do it again? Chen Yuan, hearing this, startled and said, Minhui, can you wait a little longer while I rest? She, with a deadly seductive look, cooed, No, I want it now. Early the next morning, Chen Yuan returned to the dorm. He got out of bed with a refreshed spirit, thinking, the system even gives cash back on loan repayments. All my loans plus credit card debt add up to 52,000. I'll pay those off first. Chen Yuan looked at the balance in his account, pondering. There's still Li Yuheng's 100,000. Back when my family went bankrupt, all those fair-weather friends avoided me. But Li Yuheng helped me without saying a word. Suddenly, a roommate came over and asked, Old Third, where'd you go last night? Check the group chat. There's a friend gathering tonight at noon. Chen Yuan opened the group chat and saw some people discussing, the weather's pretty good this weekend, everyone should go out for a stroll. Immediately after, a photo of a car appeared. The people below were exclaiming, Damn! Bang is getting a car! That's a Baohan Lai rolling at 280,000. Bang is really rich. Sigh. Even after 10 years of graduation, we might not be able to afford a car. Did the female sales staff at the 4S shop give birth yet? I suggest everyone get together and have a good time tonight, the roommate said again. That dog Li Jianpeng ordered a car. I suspect he asked the class president to arrange this, so he can show off. It's freaking disgusting. It left. If we don't go, we lose 200 yuan from the class fund. Chen Yuan said, disgusted. Li Jianpeng's pretending is really adorable. You guys go, I'm not going. Before he could finish, a message arrived. Yuan, long time no see. Han Yuan's. Come over for a meal tonight. Relax a little. Suddenly, the system chimed in with a notification. Perfect Life Mission. It's not just about the opposite sex's favor, but also a career foundation limited time mission. The host will receive 1 million yuan dedicated to investment within 1 week. Invest all 1 million. Mission reward. Any income earned from business activities will be doubled. Chen Yuan read the mission and happily thought, this time, it's a career-related mission? Right on time! I was thinking I needed a reasonable source of income for all this money in my account. Li Yuheng's acoustic bar is under renovation? Maybe I can invest in his bar. Chen Yuan stared at his phone, Li Yuheng's message in front of him. Yuan, long time no see. Come out for a meal tonight. Relax a little. He replied, send the location. Tonight Daddy will show you a change of scenery. At the South Scenery Bar, in a VIP room. Cheng Long, a young master lounging on the couch, said with a dismissive look, "Young Master Li, who are you still waiting for? I'm about to starve to death." That guy was Lin Guangyao. Shi Haiji, sitting on the side, chimed in. "Aren't all the important brothers here already?" Zhao Zhengang, sprawled out there, also said, "That's right, important people wouldn't be late." Li Yuheng held a glass of wine in his hand and said affably, "What's the rush? Aren't there fruits and snacks on the table?" "Snack on those for a bit. Chen Yuan is coming soon," Li glowered. Lin Guangyao, hearing this, jumped up and said, "Chen Yuan? Isn't his family bankrupt? He's not in the same circle as us anymore. Why call him here?" Lin Yuheng said seriously, "I'm paying tonight, I'm not asking you to pay, so what are you complaining about? Chen Yuan is my childhood friend, you can't lump him in with those guys." Lin Guangyao said dismissively, "If young Master Li says we wait, then we'll keep waiting." The girl next to him said, "You're such a pain, Brother Yao. You won't be my boyfriend, but you always touch me." Lin Guangyao then directed the conversation to Shi Haiji. "Isn't your cousin's girlfriend coming tonight? Why isn't she here yet?" Shi Haiji said with a wide grin. "She's on her way, but there's traffic. It'll probably take another 10 minutes or so." Lin Guangyao scoffed inwardly. His family always depended on mine. If it weren't for me, he wouldn't even qualify to be at gatherings like this. And how the heck did he stumble upon such a hot girlfriend? Especially that short, tight skirt and white shirt. No guy can resist that kind of allure. Anyway, they're not married yet, so maybe I still have a shot. Chen Yuan finally showed up. He opened the door with a bright smile and said, "Sorry for the wait, everyone." Li Yuheng, seeing Chen Yuan arrive, gently asked, "Why are you so late?" Chen Yuan replied honestly, "Traffic. I swear, that driver took the long way, specifically through the worst traffic jams." Yukang. Li Yuheng lightly punched his shoulder, laughing, "Damn, some drivers have no morals. File a complaint." Lin Guangyao thought dismissively, "Taking a taxi? Everyone here drove their fancy cars. No wonder he got stuck in traffic." He sneered, "You're lucky we all drove ourselves." "You had to call a taxi, huh?" Suddenly, a beautiful yet familiar face walked in and said anxiously, "Sorry, the rush hour traffic was insane, so I'm late." Shi Haiqiao, blushing, stood up and introduced, "This is Chen Na, my girlfriend. She works at a 4S dealership. If any of you guys need a car, look her up." He suddenly felt a surge of superiority, thinking, "Even if I'm not as rich as these guys, my girlfriend is way hotter than theirs." Chen Na saw Chen Yuan standing there and was surprised, thinking, "That's Brother Chen. He bought a car yesterday, but he didn't say hi. I guess I should pretend this is the first time we're meeting." With that thought, she walked straight to Shi Haiqiao, her face stiff, yet still radiating charm. 40 minutes later, Li Yuheng stood up, his face flushed with alcohol, and said, "Now that everyone's stuffed, let me say a few words. That bar I'm opening, I really want to make it big. All of you here are my best bros. Anyone want to invest together and get rich? The projected capital is around 24 million. I'm putting in 30% equity, which is about 700,000. He asked a little awkwardly, "What do you guys think?" The girl next to Lin Guangyao was just watching the show, while he thought to himself, Lin Xiao's family makes tens of millions in profit a year. He needs investors for a measly 700,000? He probably messed up his last investments, so his dad cut him off. Shi Haiqiao swirled the wine in his glass, thinking, "I can't afford this. I'd have to save for 2 years to get 700,000. Zhao Zhengang thought. "Going out to eat is fine, but why are you roping us into investing? That's not Li Xiao's style." The so-called important people were as quiet as clams, thinking, "In situations like this, whoever opens their mouth first is the idiot." Li Yuheng's face darkened, thinking, "Normally, these guys are always asking me to treat them, and they never hesitate to borrow money. Now that I need a little support, it's understandable with Chen Yuan being down on his luck, but the rest of them are acting like they're dead," he said coldly. "What's going on, cat? Got your tongues now that you're full? You guys should say something." Lin Guangyao finally spoke up. "It's like this, Li Xiao. I don't think it's at the point where you need investment. If you're just short on working capital, we can each chip in a few thousand to get the bar going. And you can pay us back later when you make money." Shi Haiqiao chimed in, Yeah. After all, we'd be adding shares halfway through, which wouldn't be fair to you. If you do it that way, you won't lose money later. Right, guys?" Zhao Zhengang thought to himself. Everyone knows Li Xiao's investment skills. Remember that hot pot restaurant with the technicians? It was a disaster. Now he's opening a bar? That's like throwing money into the ocean. The nosy people around glared at Lin Guangyao, thinking, this guy could lend money privately. Why does he have to drag everyone into it? Shit, we all rely on our families. And our allowance isn't even enough. Li Yuhong was silent, thinking, I wanted to get everyone together to make money, but now it's turned into begging for loans? I overestimated these guys, especially Lin Guangyao, who never does anything right. I clearly said it was about investing and joining as partners, but he keeps bringing up borrowing money. Li Yuhong put down his glass and said sourly, we'll talk about borrowing money later. If you guys aren't interested, then forget it. Hearing that, Lin Guangyao eagerly raised his glass and said, that's the way! It's no fun when Li Xiao's trying to get us to invest. Everyone, eat and drink up. Let's keep the party going. Chen Yuan was still deep in thought. These guys disappeared when I went bankrupt. Why does Lian Yuhang still think he can count on them? These guys are all useless leeches, relying on their families for money. Lian Yuhang said disappointedly, you guys can keep partying. I'm heading out. Chen Yuan finally spoke up. How about I invest that 700,000? The whole room went silent. Li Yuhang turned around in shock. Lin Guangyao burst out laughing. Chen Yuan, stop joking around. It's not like we just met. Yeah? Another guy echoed, yeah, talking big doesn't mean anything. A guy sitting next to Chen Yuan patted his shoulder, advising, why don't you go wash your face in the bathroom to sober up? Li Xiao's not in a good mood right now. He doesn't have time for your BS. Shi Haiqiao added a reminder. Brother, I'm a few years older than you, and I've experienced more. You have to know your limits. This isn't just about knowing your limits. It's about bragging shamelessly. Lin Guangyao chimed in mockingly. That's right, Chen Yuan. How did you even get here, don't you know? Should I pay for a taxi for you? Chen Na, watching the mockery, was confused, thinking, Brother Chen wants to invest 30% equity. Why do they think he's talking big? He just bought a 600,000 car yesterday. For someone with money like that, investing 700,000 is totally normal. She silently lowered her head, thinking, even though I want to help Brother Chen, if an outsider like me suddenly butts in and speaks up for him, it might just cause him more trouble. What's the best thing to do? Chen Yuan, on the other hand, calmly asked Li Yuhang, I've already transferred the 700,000. Check it out. Li Yuhang looked at the huge number on his phone and stammered in shock. Chen Yuan, you. The information on the screen was crystal clear. Your industrial and commercial bank card ending in 5,854 received 700,000 at 1942 on May 13th. That Lin Guangyao guy curiously asked, Li Xiao, what's going on? Li Yuhang stammered, unable to form a sentence, and pointed his phone at Lin Guangyao, saying, You see for yourself. He saw the ridiculously long number and was shocked, thinking, what the hell? Why does Chen Yuan's transfer have so many zeros? Let me count them again carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap, it's 700,000. Chen Na, who was sitting next to him, was also surprised, and turned to look at Chen Yuan, thinking, the wind has changed so quickly. One of the guys, seeing Lin Guangyao jump up, curiously asked, Lin Xiao, what's in the message? He trembled as he replied, something came up at my house. This cow. I can't drink with you guys anymore. See you another time. Xing Haiqiao, seeing this, also stood up and asked, aren't you my cousin? What's going on? He angrily retorted, don't ask. You go too. Your aunt and uncle are looking for you. Shi Haiqiao blankly replied, no way, they didn't call me. Lin Guangyao bitterly glared at Chen Yuan and thought, this cousin of mine can't read the room. Whatever, I'm too lazy to argue with him. It's that bastard Chen Yuan though. If he had this much money, why was he pretending to be a taxi driver? He stole all the attention tonight, damn it. That noob was so confused when he questioned him earlier. He thought, why did Lin Xiao have such a strong reaction? He went over to Li Yuhang and said, Li Xiao, what was that message? Let me see. As soon as he saw it, he opened the door and stepped outside, leaving behind only one sentence. Something came up at my house, I gotta go. The others immediately understood and stood up, saying, me too, Li Xiao. Let's hang out next time. Xie Haiqiao turned around, confused. Aren't you guys? What's going on? Why is everyone leaving? Chen Na next to him said, let's go too. Xie Haiqiao followed Chen Na, still puzzled, and asked, what did you say? How did you know they were looking at a transfer message? You didn't even see the message. Chen Na finally revealed. Chen Yuan ordered a McLaren from me yesterday and paid for it in full. He was shocked when he heard this,
grabbing her hand and saying, "Really? Is that true?" Chen Na coldly said. "Why would I lie to you? I still have his car purchase contract." He got annoyed when he heard this and scolded her. Nah, I'm not blaming you, but if you know a rich young master like that, you should tell me immediately. It's your fault for not handling this properly. Next time." Chen Na coldly shook off his hand and sharply said, "Next time what? Shi Haiji? I just realized what kind of person you are. Consider me having met the wrong person. Don't contact me anymore." Scene changed to inside the VIP room. Li Yuheng sat down, put his arm around Chen Yuan's shoulder and said, "If I'd known you were this rich, I wouldn't have organized this gathering today. What a waste of money." Chen Yuan poured wine into a glass and said, "It's good you know now. None of those guys are trustworthy. They're good for playing around, but they can't do anything when things get serious." Chen Yuan turned and smiled, opening his mouth and saying, "Tell me about your idea for opening a quiet bar a year ago. Even though I'm just a small shareholder, I still have to participate in the planning of the future." Li Yuheng agreed with a bright smile. "Okay, I'll tell you about the plan first." For the next half hour, Chen Yuan discussed the decoration style and operation situation with Lin Yuheng. After a brain dump, Liu Hang rubbed his head in frustration and blurted out, "You son of a gun are really something. Going to university wasn't a waste. You're so insightful in business." Chen Yuan stretched and said, "This is called business genius, but I don't have time to be at the bar every day to watch over things, and it's even harder to save for you, so we still have to find a store near the school." Li Yuheng immediately replied, Whatever you say, whatever you say." An hour later, a message from Chen Na arrived. "Brother Chen, the car you ordered is about to arrive at the store. You can come on Friday to pay the final amount for the car." Chen Yuan seemed to have an idea, and replied, "No rush. Are you free tomorrow night? I have some specific questions about the car I want to ask you directly." Chen Na thought when she saw this message, "This brother Chen is Chen Yuan." She smiled secretly, thinking, "Right now, Manhwa is a money-making tree, but the amount of repayment is limited. We have to expand in all directions to fully utilize this sugar daddy system to make money. Moreover, Chen Na's looks and figure are both top-notch. Spending money on such a beautiful woman isn't a loss." Thinking this, he sent the address to Chen Na, "Tomorrow, tea restaurant, 4th floor, Guaojin Shopping Center." The next day, she arrived early as scheduled. She sat by the window, resting her chin and thought, "Brother Chen hasn't arrived yet. Am I early?" Suddenly, a pot-bellied uncle walked in from outside, saw her, and thought, "Chen Na? Why is she here? And she's wearing the store uniform too. I never had a chance to flirt with this little girl at the store. I finally caught her today." Thinking this, he turned around and said to the people behind him, "You guys find a place to eat today. I have some business to take care of." He was the general manager of Chen Na's 4S store, named Zheng Jinyang. The people behind him immediately understood and said, "President Zheng, you go ahead with your work. We'll go first then." After that group of people left, they were still discussing among themselves, "Do you think Chen Na will agree to President Zheng? I don't think so. Chen Na doesn't seem like that kind of person." Another colleague said, "That's not necessarily true. Would a girl come to a place like this alone to eat?" The other person still didn't understand and asked, "What do you mean?" The other person started to explain. Maybe Chen Na came to create a chance encounter, deliberately letting Zheng Jinyang run into her. The colleague laughed loudly when he heard this and said, "Chen Na usually looks very serious. I didn't expect." At this time, Xie Haiqiao happened to overhear this conversation and wondered, Chen Na is creating a chance encounter with whom? Zheng Jinyang then went over to her table and said, "Chen Na, what a coincidence. You're here to eat too? Are you alone? Do you mind if I join you?" Chen Na frankly replied, "President Zheng, I'm sorry, but I have an appointment to meet a friend." He didn't know where he got the confidence, but he thought this little girl was playing the like but pretend to refuse game. He put his hand on the table and said, "Chen Na, I'm your boss, no matter what. So what if you have a friend? Let's eat together." Chen Na said uncomfortably, "To be honest, I'm sorry, but please maintain a suitable distance from me. You already have a family. You shouldn't do this." This guy shamelessly sat down and said, "So you're concerned about me having a family? That's easy to handle. Divorce is the way to go, Xie Haiqiao thought, frantically searching for Chen Na everywhere. He fumed. Chen Na dumped me, only to hook up with some other dude. She's looking down on me. I make 400 to 500k a year. Plus, I got a car worth over 300k. What the heck am I lacking? He stormed up to the 4th floor, only to be utterly enraged by what he saw inside. Holy crap, I lost to this pig. Xie Haiqiao charged in, pointing his finger at Zheng Jinyang and yelling, "You too, face dogs, so you've been secretly having an affair behind my back?" Chen Na blankly asked. "What are you talking about?" Zheng Jinyang, annoyed by the interruption, retorted. "And who the heck are you?" Without another word, Xie Haiqiao lunged forward and punched the old geezer, shouting with bitterness, "I should be asking you who the heck you are." Not one to back down, Zheng Jinyang grabbed Xie Haiqiao's collar and snapped, "Where did this mad dog come from? You dare hit me?" Chen Yuan walked in and, seeing the chaotic scene, was stunned. He thought to himself, Xie Haiqiao's here, what the heck is going on? He analyzed the situation, caught in the act. Or is this fat dude a scapegoat? Otherwise I'd be the one lying on the floor right now. Seeing Chen Na approaching, Chen Yuan quickly pulled her away, saying, "Mess, Chen, let's go, don't worry about them, let's get out of here." A while later, they were outside. Chen Na drove and began to explain, "Actually, Xie Haiqiao and I were only together for half a month. I only realized how awful his character was after that one meal. But luckily I broke up with him that night." Chen Yuan nodded in agreement. "It's good to find out what someone's really like early on. It's over now, so don't worry about it." Chen Na looked worried. "It's not over though. Zheng Jinyang, the guy who got hit, is my boss. Now that he's been beaten for no reason, who knows how he'll target me in the future," Chen Yuan suggested. "That kind of boss isn't worth working for. You should just find another job." She lowered her eyes and replied, "It's not that easy to find a job these days. If I switched to another store, I'd have to start all over. All the customers I've built up over the years would be wasted." They drove past a flower shop by the roadside. Chen Na stared blankly out the window and said, "Actually, being a salesperson is exhausting after a while. I want to switch to a different job, like running a cafe or something now. If I'm in a good mood, I'd do a lot of business. If I'm not, I'd just close up shop. How great would that be? Too bad opening a cafe costs 300 to 400k. I don't know how long it would take to save up that much." Chen Yuan asked with interest, "You want to open a cafe? It's okay if you don't have enough money. What if someone wanted to invest?" In his heart, he thought, "Besides the 700k I gave to Li Yuhang, I still have 300k, specifically for investments." Chen Na didn't take him seriously and laughed. "Then I'd quit my job immediately and work for him without hesitation." Chen Yuan said seriously, "Okay, then quit your job tomorrow. I'll invest 300k to open a cafe, and you can work for me from now on." Zhao Yuan's hand, which had been slapping his thigh, stopped abruptly. The number above Chen Na's head jumped straight to 64, and she gasped in surprise. Chen Yuan, on the other hand, was ecstatic, thinking to himself, "I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to get her affection all the way here. Here comes a money tree." Chen Na asked in disbelief, "Chen Yuan, are you kidding me?" Chen Yuan smiled and replied, "I'm serious. What's the matter? Don't want to work for me? After we open the cafe, I'll pay you 12,000 yuan a month, plus there's commission. If we're open for 3 consecutive months, I'll give you a car worth 200k. Your car is old, so you should get a new one." Her eyes lit up, thinking in disbelief. No pressure to meet sales targets, and I get a car after working for 3 months. That would make my annual salary exceed 300k. She suddenly remembered something and thought, "Wait a minute, is Chen Yuan planning to keep me as his mistress?" Chen Na remembered the girl who went to buy a car with him last time, and said, "Chen Yuan, you don't have to do this for me." She thought honestly, "Even though this offer is very tempting, I don't want to be someone's caged canary, especially as a mistress." Chen Yuan crossed his arms and said, "Don't overthink it. I just plan to open a chain of cafes. The first one is to operate as a pilot project for TH. So we'll just be in a simple boss-employee relationship." Chen Na turned her face away, saying shyly, "Is that so? Then let me think about it." Suddenly, a message from Feng Minhui arrived. "Chen Yuan, do you have time tonight? If you're free, let's go grab some cold drinks." Chen Yuan looked at the message and thought, "Cold drinks? Minhui's needs are so high." He quickly replied, Those kinds of drinks are okay, but we need to moderate the frequency. After that, he said to Chen Na, Miss Chen, I have something to take care of, so I'll head out first. Think it over carefully and get back to me soon. Chen Yuan quickly went to the Da Fu Hao Hotel, room 808. He went inside and quickly closed the door. Feng Minhui had been waiting for a long time. She rushed over and hugged Chen Yuan tightly, saying, Chen Yuan, I missed you. He softened and replied, Hui Hui, I. Before he could finish, Feng Minhui spoke with suspicion. Wait, Chen Yuan, you smell like another woman's perfume. Chen Yuan was surprised. He sniffed himself and said, Huh? No way. In his heart he thought, could it be because I rode in Na's car that I picked up her perfume? Feng Minhui pushed Chen Yuan away and angrily questioned, Tell me, have you been seeing another woman behind my back? Chen Yuan quickly went over and hugged her, then explained in a low voice, How could that be? I only have you. It's just that I went to the 4S store to handle the car paperwork today, so I picked up the perfume smell from those girls. You know, the female staff at the 4S store all wear pretty strong perfume. Feng Minhui was finally manipulated by his sweet talk and said, Okay, but if you go looking for other women next time, you have to tell me in advance. Also, you have to keep your distance from that female employee, got it? Chen Yuan laughed it off and said, Of course. He smiled inwardly. This really wasn't about cheating or not. The system's mission was to spend money on the opposite sex and rely on rebates to make money. There's no way I can just stick to one tree. After giving her instructions, she turned and left, saying seductively, Okay, I'm going to take a shower first. Chen Yuan grabbed her arm and said suggestively, Shower later. She said in a sultry tone, Can't shower, I'm wearing clothes. She was quickly stripped bare. Chen Yuan said in a perverted way, I like the smell of not showering. Feng Minhui sat on the bed, blushing, and said, Then we're the same, Chen Yuan. Actually, I also like your scent. Chen Yuan also quickly took off his clothes and threw them in some corner. He pounced on the bed, greedily inhaling her scent, and said, Isn't that my line, Hui Hui? You've really completely ignited the intense fire in my heart. The two of them wrestled with each other once again. She was brought to a state of ecstasy and said, Chen Yuan, I like you so much. 2 hours later, just as the two were about to stop, Feng Minhui spoke up again. Chen Yuan, I still want more. Chen Yuan said, a little scared, Let me take a shower first. I'm all sweaty and sticky. It's uncomfortable. He walked into the bathroom with weak legs, thinking to himself, Hui Hui's needs are even greater than Wan Ting's. She's having a great time, but I'm being drained dry. He glanced at the number 90 above her head and thought, Isn't this kind of exercise increasing Hui Hui's favorability so quickly? Last time it only took one night to increase to 86, and today, 2 times has already reached 90. Suddenly, the system issued a notification, detected that the host has a member of the opposite sex with a favorability above 90. The favorability mission has been completed, rewarding 1V Silk, a bonus of 1 million, a 1 million consumption card, and 1 accidental ability card. Chen Yuan was shocked and widened his eyes, thinking, 1 million? Winning the lottery isn't even this much. It's easier to explain the source of money with this thing. Moreover, it can be used to pay off debts at home. He looked at the line, 1 accidental ability card. Chen Yuan thought confusedly, Wait, accidental ability? There's even this reward? Then, won't I be able to dominate everything in the future? Chen Yuan looked towards Feng Minhui lying on the bed, thinking to himself, Sorry Minhui, I have to rise up now. It won't be you taking advantage of me anymore. It'll be me taking advantage of you. With that, Chen Yuan quickly chose the accidental ability card. As soon as he selected it, all the fatigue in his body almost disappeared. He thought in amazement, Awesome! I can clearly feel that my nether region is full of energy. This reward for reaching 90 favorability is so great. Chen Yuan thought to himself, It seems that the system's reward distribution is practical, rewarding what's needed. But the favorability of the opposite sex has to reach 90. Although Li Zhao's favorability is over 60, it's still a long and difficult road to develop to the same level as Hui Hui. The long-legged Chen Na in black stockings has also exceeded 60. Right now it seems that I need to proceed step by step. I don't know when the next girl with a favorability of 90 will appear. Let's not think about these things for now.
quickly testing out the abilities of this system daddy is the main thing. A moment later, he walked out aggressively and softly called out her name, Hui Hui. She asked in surprise, "What's wrong, Chen Yuan? Weren't you going to take a shower?" Chen Yuan grabbed her hand and said, "No, I changed my mind." He turned around, and she adjusted her position and said, "Here, like this." He gently took her hand and got to work. A rush of pleasure overwhelmed her, causing her to jerk back and exclaim, "Chen Yuan, why is it a little?" At the same time, in another place, Chen Na was lying on the sofa, talking on the phone excitedly. Qian, there's a male student who said he wants to give me 300,000 to open a store, and said that if I work for 3 months, he'll give me a 200,000 car. Do you think this male student wants to take care of me? But he already... The girl on the other end of the line interrupted her. Nah, are you being scammed? However, Chen Na bluntly affirmed, "No way. I've met him a few times already. He bought a car for me last time." Qian asked again, "How old is he?" "I remember. The people who bought cars from you were all middle-aged men." Chen Na replied, "He's only 21 years old." Qian, who was applying a face mask, also asked in surprise, "A young kid like that is already driving a luxury car? So is he handsome?" Chen Na sat up, her face flushed red, and replied, "He's a little handsome." Qian analyzed again. "He wants to give you 300,000 to open a store, and then give you a 200,000 car. A male student who is rich, handsome, and young like this. What's there to worry about?" Chen Na went to the window to look at the city outside, and replied blankly, "But I'm 5 or 6 years older than him." Chen Jian said, "What's that? People all say that a woman older by 3 carries gold, carries silver. Right now, he's rounding up a bit, so isn't that equivalent to carrying 2 lumps of gold?" Chen Na added awkwardly, "But he has a girlfriend." Qian, who was cutting her nails on the other side, explained, "Girlfriend, not a married wife." Nah, are you stupid? This kind of condition is fine even if he has a wife. Moreover, with the current situation, you can completely snatch him. Chen Na was shocked by her friend's words and exclaimed, "What are you saying, Qian?" Qian laughed it off and said, "If you're so flustered, then push this little sugar daddy to me. I'll take all the responsibility for you." Chen Na was totally blank, like, "Didn't you say you had a boyfriend?" And Qian, being all real, was like, "Boyfriend? So what? If some sugar daddy like that was willing to take care of me, I'd drop him in a heartbeat." Qian thought about it for a sec, then went on, "Nah, I'm just messing with ya. Okay, my boyfriend's back. I'll gossip with you later." Chen Na on her end hung up the phone. Still kinda dazed, she looked out the window, and all she could see was Chen Yuan's face. She couldn't help but think about him. Meanwhile, back with Chen Yuan, 40 minutes had flown by. Feng Minhui was panting and sprawled out on the bed, all tired, and she goes, "Chen Yuan, why was this time different from before?" He casually propped himself up and was like, "Different how? Was it stronger?" She just kinda mumbled, all shy, and pulled the blanket up to cover half her face. Feng Minhui, all bashful, said, "We did it twice in those 40 minutes. Chen Yuan whispered in her ear, "Did you like it? Want to go for another round?" She sat up, all flustered, asking, "Chen Yuan, you can still keep going?" He purred, Hui, remember how you learned to dance up here? This time, how about you take the lead?" She blushed and mumbled, "Me, on top. But I don't know how." Chen Yuan smiled gently and hugged her, saying, "You can learn. Isn't it all about gaining experience in real life?" Feng Minhui just softly murmured and like she agreed. Chen Yuan gave her a light kiss, and she immediately turned bright red, calling him a bad boy in a sweet, pre-arranged kind of way. And then, bam, Shay hopped on top of him to continue the battle. The next day, after Feng Minhui went back to school, Chen Yuan was sprawled out on the bed, all comfy, saying, "No classes this morning, I can sleep in a bit longer." Suddenly, he bolted upright, holding a piece of paper and his phone, yelling, "Wait a sec, that lottery ticket from the system? Gotta check if I'm rich?" Chen Yuan tried to calm down as he checked each number, muttering, "After the red numbers 3, 4, 14, 22, 26, 27, the final blue number is 1. Got 'em all." Then he screamed, "Holy crap, 68 million!" Chen Yuan jumped out of bed. He threw the blankets in the air, shouting, "I won! 68 million!
Gotta tell Dad and Mom the good news ASAP. They've been living the poor life for way too long since the company went bust. A little later, Chen Yuan was back home, excitedly yelling, "Mom, I'm home!" Mom Chen Yuan, with her hands on her hips, said, "You're home! You're home! Don't shout so loud! Don't disturb the neighbors!" He asked excitedly, "Where's Dad?" Babers. "Get him out here quick, Mom! I've got something important to say." Mom Chen Yuan came out too, asking him suspiciously, "What's so important that it can't wait for your dad? You little rascal, did you get into trouble again?" Chen Yuan dragged a chair over for his mom, grinning from ear to ear. "What are you thinking, Mom? It's good news. Come on, you two sit down first." Once everyone was settled, he held out the lottery ticket and announced, "We're rich. I 6,000,000 won." Mom Chen Yuan's face went blank as she asked, "Son, have you been under too much pressure at school lately?" Dad Chen Yuan chimed in, "Kid, just focus on your studies. I'll take care of the family's debts. Don't worry too much, and go thinking about weird stuff." Chen Yuan shoved the lottery ticket and his phone in front of his dad, saying, "Dad, take a good look before you say anything else." He quickly muttered and checked each red number on the lottery ticket and on his phone. His eyes lit up as he stared at the ticket, and he yelled, "Honey, we really won!" Mom Chen Yuan gasped. "Really? Seriously?" Dad Chen Yuan, super excited, confirmed, "It really is 68 million. Chen Yuan added, "Even after taking out 20% for taxes, we'll still get over 5 million. With this money, we can not only pay off all our debts, but our family's life will be so much better." Mom Chen Yuan exclaimed happily, "Son, your contribution will be written in our family's history books. No lunch today. Let's go out and celebrate our lottery win." Chen Yuan scratched his head, looking a bit shy, and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a junior now, and I'll graduate in a year. I want to go out and start my own business to get some experience." Dad Chen Yuan was happy to hear that and said, "Starting a business isn't easy these days, but it's great that you have this ambition. Young people need to hustle. The prize money is yours anyway, so it's best if you spend it yourself. But my personal suggestion is that your mother and I keep some of this money to help you when you fail." Chen Yuan said awkwardly, "Mom, Dad, I'll only take 1 million. The rest is for you to keep. Do whatever you want with it." Dad Chen Yuan chuckled and nodded. "Okay then," Mom Chen Yuan added, "Son, go for it. Your mother and I support you." Scene changed to that dude Zheng Jinyong. After the brawl the other day, he pointed to his bruised face and said, "Chen Na, you probably know why I called you up here, right? Take a good look. This is your boyfriend's masterpiece." Chen Na replied coldly, "Director, I've already broken up with him. We don't have any relationship. You should go find him for your injuries." He was obviously not having it, saying, "Chen Na, that's not right. The debt has to be repaid to the right person. If it weren't for you, would I have been beaten up for no reason?" Zheng Jinyang looked at her body and couldn't help but have dirty thoughts, like, "This woman is so smooth, I can definitely get her by using this incident." Chen Na was still tough, responding, "What does your fight have to do with me? Besides, yesterday, I said that I had an appointment with someone else. You were the one who insisted on sitting there," he said with a dark face. "Enough with the excuses. Yesterday afternoon you left your post without permission, which meant no one was there to greet the customers in the lobby. As punishment, you're suspended from greeting customers for this month. Wait until you figure things out, then come see me." Feeling wronged, Chen Na argued to the end. "Based on what? I already asked for leave yesterday." Hearing this, he burst out laughing. "Ha ha ha, good question. Based on what, you ask? Is this your first day working in society? It's based on the fact that I'm the general manager of this store. Everything in this store is up to me." This capitalist logic made her furious but helpless. Zheng Jinyang, on the other hand, smugly thought, suspending her from greeting customers is the same as cutting off her commissions. If she only gets her base salary for a month, that's only 1,200 yuan. Not even enough to pay for her rent. Chen Na finally saw through it all. She resolutely turned around, leaving behind only the words, "Acting all high and mighty just because you're a lousy general manager? It's just a job. At worst, I just won't do it anymore." Hearing this, he panicked so much that he jumped up and called out, Chen Na, don't leave so quickly. I advise you to think it over carefully." Chen Na was thinking too, but she was thinking about something else. Chen Yuan doesn't look that old, but he doesn't seem like a normal person, and he gets things done now. Not to mention what Chen Yuan wants to do, but just working part-time for him
is a way out for me now. This time, she made up her mind. She said bluntly, "No need to think anymore. Not doing it means not doing it." Half an hour later, Chen Na's message rang. "I've prepared in advance. Do you still mean what you said yesterday?" Shen Yuan quickly replied. "Congratulations on escaping the sea of suffering and choosing a bright path. You can go take a look at the shops whenever you have time. If there's a suitable location, we'll lock it down." On the other side, Chen Yuan was strutting down the street, and seeing the message, he happily thought, "Great. It seems that the remaining 30,000 from the investment mission don't need to find another project anymore." He also arrived at the place he needed to go. As soon as he entered, he politely greeted, "Hi, Li Xiao. I'm here." Li Xiao was still carrying several boxes on the ground. She turned her head and said, "Chen Yuan, sorry to bother you. I have to move my office, but there are too many things. I can't move them all myself. I originally wanted to call the class monitor, but she had something to do, so she took leave." Chen Yuan looked up at the shelf and replied, "It's okay. I don't have classes this morning. My family doesn't have anything going on right now. Do all of these things need to be moved?" Lin Xiao wiped her sweat and said with a smile, "Yeah, if it was just moving books and documents I could do it, but this table and the filing cabinet are too heavy." She walked to a cabinet. "But I can't reach it," she said as she worked. "Let's take all the books off the shelf first, otherwise they'll fall when we move it." With her limited height, she had no choice but to stand on tiptoe. But then, a strong hand appeared behind her to help. Chen Yuan took the stack of paper from up there. The close distance made her butt touch Chen Yuan's little bird. The two rubbed against each other, causing Li Xiao to blush shyly. Her heart thumped wildly. She thought, "Chen Yuan right now." She remembered the previous incident and reasoned, "This time is even closer than last time. Chen Yuan really has intentions towards me." Li Xiao's face turned red, and she asked hesitantly, Is it done?" Chen Yuan honestly took down the pile of documents and replied with a smile, "Yes, it's done." Suddenly, a lively voice sounded from outside. "Teacher, we're here to help you." The group went in and caught sight of the scene, and thought, "Hey, why is Teacher Li Xiao's face so red?" Chen Yuan went over to urge the kids, "Come over here and move things. You guys move this filing cabinet to the next room." The group quickly rolled up their sleeves, each doing their part. Li Xiao walked to a corner, gently brushing her smooth hair. In her heart, she thought, "It's a good thing these two students came a few seconds late, or they would have seen it. That would have been really embarrassing. Chen Yuan is getting bolder and bolder. It's fine at home, but he dares to mess around in the office too." Li Xiao put her hand on her chest, blushing as she thought, "But what the heck? I felt a little stimulated just now. No way, no way. Chen Yuan is my student. Absolutely not." On the other side, Chen Yuan looked at the teacher and said in surprise, Why did the teacher's favorability increase to 71? Could it be that the slight touch just now increased the favorability?" He smiled and rubbed his chin, recalling, "It's not that I'm too long, it's that the teacher's butt is too big. If it were a thinner girl, it wouldn't be possible. But I didn't expect the teacher's favorability to increase. Maybe I can go to her place more often to cultivate our relationship." Cut to Saturday. 800 meters from the south gate of the school, in a dreamy pink cafe, several beautiful girls inside excitedly asked, "Zan Peng, I heard that you paid 280,000 for that car all at once? You're driving a BBA before you even graduated. You've surpassed 9,999 of your classmates." Li Zhanpeng, acting all high and mighty, thought, "Screw it. Feng Minhui is pretending to be pure and rejecting me. With my conditions, I don't lack women kneeling down to lick my balls." He burst out laughing and said, "Ha ha, some people even look down on BBA." The long-haired girl heard that and said, "No way! You're still complaining? Look at how well off your family is." The girl next to her chimed in, "Right, some people don't know the situation. Even if they work for 3 to 5 years, they probably still can't afford this car." Li Zhanpeng was feeling himself. Then he looked outside and froze. His face flushed red, and he even spat out his tea. In his heart he blurted, "Holy crap, that girl is gorgeous." That girl was none other than Chen Na, and she was leisurely sitting outside. Li Zhanpeng kept looking at her from inside and commenting, "Those legs are amazing. Now, I'd give up 10 years of my life for them. I wonder what kind of person could get a perfect girl like that." Suddenly, a girl looked down at a car below and couldn't help but exclaim, "Look, That driverless car is so high, penned. What kind of car is that? Li Jianpeng looked down. He replied calmly. It's a top Mayline M9. Suddenly, Chen Yuan appeared next to the car, startling everyone. The long-haired girl looked down and asked, Hey, isn't that Chen Yuan? Li Jianpeng blankly thought to himself, that's weird. Why is he driving this car? Didn't his family go bankrupt? Chen Na saw him from afar and waved, calling out, Chen Yuan, over here, over here. The loud call made Li Jianpeng turn his head quickly, hoping to get a glimpse. He stood up in surprise and thought to himself, this beautiful girl is waiting for Chen Yuan. Chen Na smiled gently and asked, The boss just sent me a message. She'll be here soon. How is the car to drive? Chen Yuan sat down, took a sip of his drink, and said, Not bad. The long-haired girl leaned over to Li Jianpeng and whispered, Li Jianpeng, look! It seems like Chen Yuan and her have something going on. Li Jianpeng gritted his teeth in jealousy, thinking, That damn Chen Yuan, he just broke up with that senior, and now he's already hooking up with a hot girl from outside the school. At this moment, a slender hand touched their table. A beautiful girl with green hair walked over and said, Hello, Miss Chen. I was picking up my child, so I'm a bit late. This was the cafe owner, Lin Yuchang. Chen Yuan stood up and politely shook Lin Yuchang's hand. She also smiled politely and praised, Mr. Chen looks very young. Chen Yuan replied, Actually, we're all about the same age, all in our early 20s. Miss Lin, let's sit down and talk. Lin Yuchang calmly sat down and got straight to the point. I'll keep it brief. My cafe is doing okay and it's pretty good for catering to the students from the school. But mainly, my family has too much going on right now. Too many things to handle. There's no other way, so I can only transfer the shop. The transfer fee is 300,000. Chen Yuan smiled as he listened, calculating in his mind. Although I have 300,000 for investment, after deducting the transfer fee, I still need to keep 50,000 as initial funding, and Chen Na's first month's salary. More. Chen Yuan smiled and said, How about this? I won't haggle with you anymore. Let's settle at 250,000. Lin Yuchang pondered. The price he offered was indeed a bit lower than her expected 270,000. But if she didn't transfer it this time, there might not be someone so decisive again. All right. She thought for a moment and asked, If it's this price, can we sign the contract and pay the transfer fee today? Chen Yuan smiled and said, Yes, we can. After signing the contract, I'll transfer 250,000 to you. After receiving a definite confirmation, Lin Yuchang called the staff member next to her, Xiao Chua. From now on, this Mr. Chen is your new boss. Later, take him around to get familiar with the situation in the shop. Xiao Chua quickly walked up to him and bowed politely. Boss, hello. Chen Yuan pointed to Chen Na and said to the employee, Just take Miss Chen Na around to get acquainted. I don't come to the shop often, so she's in charge of everything in the shop. The blonde girl at Li Jianpeng's table overheard the whole conversation and said to her friend, Did you hear that? This is so unbelievable. In just a few minutes, a 250,000 deal was directly settled. Her friend added, Moreover, it's obvious that Chen Yuan is buying this shop for the girl next to him. Li Jianpeng felt jealous when he heard this, but there was nothing he could do. Suddenly, Lin Yuchang's phone rang. She said apologetically as she took her phone and walked away. Mr. Chen, Miss Chen, I'm sorry, I'll take this call outside. Chen Na leaned over to Chen Yuan and whispered, It seems like this Ms. Lin is Zheng Xiang's wife. Zheng Xianyong is the guy who fought with Xie Haiji at the Guojin shopping center, the boss of the 4S store. Chen Yuan was surprised to learn this and asked, What a coincidence, he thought to himself. With such a beautiful wife at home, and he still wants to use his power to cheat, using the unspoken rules on female employees? How despicable. Chen Yuan is the first to disagree, Chen Na said quietly. I still have Zheng Xianyong's conversations harassing and threatening me. I want to use my salary to expose him, to let people in the car industry see his true colors. Should Chen Yuan tell Miss Lin, Miss Lin is also a very good person, I'm afraid it will hurt her, Chen Yuan said nonchalantly. I don't think it's appropriate, Chen Na asked in surprise. Why? Chen Yuan analyzed cleverly. Once the chat history is posted, Zheng Xianyong will know who did it. A middle-aged man in his 40s, after losing his job, still has a wife and children to support. I'm afraid he will do something detrimental to you. How about this? Leave this matter to me.
I promise to bring him down, and it won't affect you.
Chen Na felt relieved when she heard this, and said, Chen Yuan, thank you. Chen Yuan took out his phone and said, I've already transferred 250,000 to Ms. Lin, and I've also transferred 50,000 to you, including 24,000 as your first 2 months' salary, and the rest is capital to run the shop.
At the same time, the system rang with a notification. Detected that the host has used up all 1 million dedicated investment funds, completed the investment task, investment level upgraded from novice to primary investor, activating a serial task, a perfect life should have more assets, the host will obtain 10 million dedicated investment funds to continue expanding investment. Mission 1. The income from investments will all be tripled as a Mission 2 reward. After completing the investment, you will acquire a mysterious property. Chen Yuan, staring at each line of the notification, thought in surprise. Didn't expect the system to give me another surprise. This time, the investment principal is directly 10 times. I can use 10 million to invest. And there is also a mysterious property. I'm already getting curious. Lin Yusheng, after finishing her phone call, walked in and happily said, Brother Chen, I've received the money. Happy cooperation. I'll go first. Hope to see you again. Chen Yuan shook her hand, his face turning red as he secretly commented, Miss Lin's hand is so soft, boneless even, and doesn't lose any of the charm. This is the allure of another man's wife, huh? Suddenly, an inappropriate thought flashed across his mind. Chen Yuan smiled gently and affirmed, Sure, we'll meet again. Half an hour later, at a high-end restaurant, Chen Na sat opposite him, hesitatingly asking, Chen Yuan, this restaurant is so expensive. Do you come here often? Chen Yuan calmly replied, Not that often. Today is a good day, celebrating our happy cooperation.
The girl over there was already flushed red, secretly reassuring herself, Chen Na, this is really a tough nut to crack. For sure an upright man wouldn't be able to handle it.
Chen Yuan then finally spoke up. Chen Na, how about you sit next to me? She let out an O and obediently went over. As soon as she sat down, Chen Yuan wrapped his arm around her waist and said, Scoots over a little closer. In his heart, he thought, closing down the cafe costs 300K, and then every month I have to pay 12K in salary. Time to recoup some of that investment. Chen Na blushed and thought to herself, in this world there isn't love and giving without a reason. Could it be that he plans to make money from the cafe? Lin Yusheng has said, maintaining a break-even is already good, and the only thing I have to offer him is this. Chen Yuan's arm kept groping and kneading her full breasts.
Chen Na shyly reminded him, the waiter is about to come in.
Chen Yuan, don't be like this. Chen Yuan smiled slyly and said, the food here takes a long time to arrive.
Just like that, Chen Yuan began to caress her all over, causing Chen Na to involuntarily let out moans full of ambiguity.
Only 10 minutes later did someone knock and announce, Mr. Chen, the food is ready to be served.
Chen Na startled and whispered to him, someone's coming.
Chen Yuan and both separated at this moment. Chen Yuan happily called out, come in. After the dishes were served, Chen Yuan picked up a piece of food for her and said, try this, it's the restaurant's specialty. Watching him diligently picking up food, Chen Na thought, actually, Chen Yuan is very handsome. The only flaw is that he's a bit bad. Clearly he already has such a beautiful girl by his side, yet he's still messing around outside like this. She sighed, her face red, thinking, too bad, I'm already on the pirate ship now. Thinking about these things is useless.
Time flew by. 40 minutes later, they had both finished eating. The cashier announced, Mr. Chen, the total is 2,652 yuan. Please scan the code here.
Chen Yuan, while scanning the code, thought, although this meal cost 2,652 yuan, but the system triples the refund, equivalent to earning 5,304 yuan, making money is as easy as flipping your hand. Chen Na, on the other hand, thought, one meal is equal to the commission from selling a car. People with money spend 2,000 yuan like I spend 20 yuan. The two strolled along the road when she suddenly opened up to him. Chen Yuan, I want to go back to the cafe to understand the situation with Xiao Chuo. I'll go there to work tomorrow. I want to understand the situation as soon as possible. Chen Yuan turned around and said, it's already 8:30. Xiao Chu gets off work at 9. If you go, you'll miss her quitting time. She'll hold a grudge. Go home and rest and recharge. Go tomorrow instead.
The girl, hearing this, blushed shyly and said, all right, then sorry to trouble you a bit more. Take me home. Chen Yuan once again happily smiled brightly and agreed.
After arriving, Chen Na got out of the car, smiling and saying,
You worked hard today. After I go to work tomorrow, I'll report the work to you. Goodbye. Chen Yuan then also got out and asked, I'm a little thirsty. Would it be a problem to go upstairs for a glass of water? The girl shyly responded, It's not really convenient. Chen Na was a little nervous in her heart. Is this progressing too fast? What happened in the private room just now was already my limit. Chen Yuan then rubbed his chin and said, Oh, is there another man in the house? The girl immediately turned around to correct him. How is that possible? I and Shi Heiji have already broken up. Chen Yuan, hearing this, smiled and said, Then no more beating around the bush. I'm just going up for a glass of water. What's not convenient? Chen Na was still doubtful and asked, You really will just drink water and leave? Chen Yuan smiled brightly and said, Of course. But if you want to keep me overnight, that's fine too, hee hee. Chen Na looked at him, her face clearly writing the words, You wish on it. A moment later, as soon as the door was opened, Chen Yuan had already wrapped an arm around her waist and braced a hand against the door, taking the upper hand. The girl, her face red, pushed him away with her weak arm and said, Didn't you say you were just drinking water? Chen Yuan's mischievous hand lifted her skirt and said with delight, Indeed, drinking water, but not the water you're thinking about. The two quickly began a passionate foreplay. At this time, downstairs, a black car was parked in front of the door. The person in the car thought to himself, Nana must have resigned because of me. I have to get her forgiveness first, even if it's just to be normal friends, and then try to pursue Nana again. Standing below the building, Shi Haiqiao looked up and thought, Nana's lights off, she's probably not home. I'll leave the flowers by her door then. Those roses mean I'll love you forever. My feelings won't change. She's so smart, she'll definitely know they're from me. But as soon as he got to her door, he froze, hearing those, intimate sounds. Shi Haiqiao stammered in disbelief. This is Nana's voice. The actual F? She said she had nothing going on with Zheng Xianyang. But she's literally doing him? Meh? He totally lost it. He pounded on the door and yelled, Zheng Xianyang, get your ass out here. Chen Yuan, currently busy enjoying himself, heard the yelling and thought, Sounds like Shi Haiqiao, that idiot. He's already been dumped. Why is he being such a busybody? Is he nuts? Chen Na also heard the noise and said, I think I hear something outside. Who's knocking? Chen Yuan didn't want to stop, so he said, You're hearing things. It's just someone knocking on the next door. He picked Chen Na up, saying as he walked, Come on, let's go into the bedroom. In his arms, Chen Na whispered, Chen Yuan, I'm still not really ready. Be gentle, okay? Chen Yuan responded tenderly. Shi Haiqiao's bouquet of roses finally fell to the ground. Crushed, Shi Haiqiao slumped down in front of Chen Na's door, thinking, Looks like Nana's been completely devoured. I've totally missed my chance. He sobbed quietly. Wah. Make sure he uses protection. An hour later, inside Chen Na's room, the labor was still going strong. She gasped, Huff, this kind of thing is comfy, but it's also kind of tiring. Suddenly, Chen Yuan flipped her over, making Chen Na yelp. What are you doing? He answered softly. If you lie still like this, it won't be tiring anymore. Chen Yuan happily thought, Maybe I can accidentally use a little bit of my overflowing stellar energy, but Chen Na looks outgoing but is so conservative in reality, which makes me like her even more. After the passionate night, Chen Yuan finally woke up groggily. He inhaled deeply, thinking, Smells amazing. It's the smell of toast and fried eggs from outside. Chen Na was leisurely making breakfast for the two of them, the morning sun shining in, creating a warm scene. Chen Yuan sat in the room, looking out, thinking, Chen Na is so thoughtful. It's completely different from the feeling of being in a hotel with Hui Hui. This kind of thing can only happen at home. Hotels don't have this warmth. Just as the thought flashed through his mind, the system's voice echoed. A perfect life should have its own home to create favorable conditions for oneself and the girls. Time limited mission. Buy a house of no less than 100 square meters for Chen neighbors. Mission reward 1. The money for the house can be doubled as a refund. Mission reward 2. After purchasing the house, the host will receive a secret house. Note: the mission reward 1 can have its refund stacked based on the level of favorability. Chen Yuan exclaimed in his mind, Damn! One thought just popped into my head, and the system lord has already arranged it. With the system's generosity, this house definitely won't be bad. Grandiose thoughts began to form in his head. Maybe the mysterious house is a huge villa, and there will be frequent pool parties. Looks like I'll still have to find some high-quality girls in the future. This surprise rate will be even higher. At this moment, Chen Na turned her head to look at Chen Yuan sitting on the bed and said, "Oh, you're awake. Breakfast will be ready in 2 minutes." Chen Yuan got up and walked outside, leaned against the wall, crossed his arms, and thought to himself, "I wonder what kind of rewards I can get if Chen Na's favorability reaches 90. He smiled slyly and asked, "Could it be that today's breakfast only has breakfast?" Seeing Chen Yuan come over and start groping, Chen Na blushed and exclaimed, "Huh? It was so many times last night, isn't that enough? Moreover, it's broad daylight," Chen Yuan said with pleasure. "You make your breakfast, I'll eat my breakfast." The cooking utensil in Chen Na's hand fell straight to the ground. Chen Yuan leaned close to her ear and whispered, "If you don't have anything else to do later, let's go buy a house. I'll give it to you as a gift." Chen Na was shocked by this answer and exclaimed,